I know. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I am your host here, Chantele Francis. Alongside with me today, I have my lovely co-hosts. We have
Brazil.
How are you doing today?
Good. I'm just letting everyone know I am not in my apartment, so if I'm dipping in and out, it's because, I have to have a pest control come for their yearly cleaning or whatever. So I wonder if it's Calvin.
I mean, maybe it's Calvin coming. Well, if this is your first time on Reality Realness, well then welcome. We are so happy to have you. We are really active in the chat. So if you have any questions or comments, we want to hear them and we will talk about whatever you have to say today. So Reality Realness, what's it all about? It's all about reality TV and hopefully any gossip that goes along with it. Make sure you subscribe right down over there because we are on our way to 1,000 subscribers. We've been doing so well. The engagement and the subscribership has been really, really amazing these past few days. And so we just want to keep the momentum going. We love talking to you guys. And the more we share this with other people, the more fun we have in our chat rooms. And then the more we can figure out to do more with you guys. So I'm loving the growth that's happening right now and that people are enjoying just hanging out with us because we love hanging out with you guys so much.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. So thank you guys. So we really appreciate it. So thank you.
Absolutely. Praisal is her. CJ, hi CJ, is her. So we are going into the final stretch of Love Island USA Season 2, Episode 33, the Super Dates. What did you think on a whole about this episode? What do you think?
I loved the episode. It was probably top 3 for me. Shut up.
Top 3 for you?
My friend's making fun of me.
It's distracting.
Probably top 3 for me. Especially just because I just enjoyed seeing everyone go on their dates, and it just seems everyone is really in a good place. Like even Calvin and Moira just seem to be super comfortable with each other, and everyone's just having a really good time. So it was just a really fun episode, I think.
Well, I did message you last night being like, ooh, I think you're going to like this one. So I was right. I called it.
Yeah.
Have I been wrong really yet? I don't know if I've been wrong this season, like fully wrong. Like I told you so wrong. I don't know if that's happened yet today or this season. Definitely though, like I was kind of mentioning, we had a little bit of a flub where we were kind of broadcasting to the wrong streaming platforms. And so I already mentioned this. So if you hear this for a second time, I'm sorry. But, you know, no matter what, we're talking about the show because we love it. And I have to say that this season has been 100% like a really, really great Love Island season. Regardless if I'm annoyed with couples or I think that people are playing a game or whatnot, like the content that's been coming out of this season has been awesome. It's been like a live soap opera. And so I'm really sad actually to see that it is going because it's been so good. It's been like my savior for the summer.
Can you imagine like if we didn't have Love Island, we were stuck with this extremely awful season of Big Brother?
Well, I would have found something else to watch. I probably would have started.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have been as happy.
We're gonna probably start watching what's it called?
90 Day Fiance.
90 Day Fiance. And so I probably would have just gotten into 90 Day Fiance naturally, just because there's so much content. You know?
Yeah, but like we wouldn't have this.
Well, we'd maybe been different people, but we wouldn't have you guys. So I'm so happy about it. So hi, Ruth from Sweden. That's a long ways away. I've never been to Sweden.
Hi, Ruth.
And V-Fly, Nick. Hi, V-Fly.
Hey, girl. Hey.
And Kevy Bush. Here's a new, I think. Hello. Let's wash hands.
I don't know, but I see it in another comment.
Is it like, ooh, excited, like that?
I don't know. I've never seen it before, but 2 people did it.
Interesting. First time I've seen that too, but that's what I'm thinking, like getting ready to get into it, maybe,
yeah. Like
CJ. Okay, so yes, I did see that briefly. I only saw a little bit of a clip of it, not an entire segment, like the whole segment. I was gonna watch it after, but have you seen anything about this?
I have not, but I can see them cracking on.
Well, it's not about cracking on. She just kind of comes for Johnny. I will talk about it at maybe at some point.
No way.
Divine Me says, ladies, is it washing hands? Like getting excited? Like, ooh, the tea, the final episode.
Yeah, you guys, can you confirm? Because I don't know what that means. But hi, Divine.
Hi, Anna. How are you?
Hi, Anna.
We're probably in a very good mood. You and Divine in Brazil. EJ says, I'm listening to you guys at work as I'm a teacher. That's hilarious. What grade are you teaching, or what do you teach?
Teach your kids about Love Island. You should add it to your curriculum.
A good man.
Add it to your curriculum.
Divine Me. I cried, but I enjoyed every second of it. Do you know what though? I didn't cry. I mean, I don't think I did. I don't think
I oh my God, I was bawling my eyes out.
Weird.
Yeah, when you were texting about something else and I was like, pause, I'm bawling.
I mean,
what? It's okay. Is she okay? Yeah. Don't worry about it.
So we start off this episode basically with Justine and Sally, and we're kind of coming back to what we were talking about, which was that Sally and Justine must have wanted to keep Lakin in the game, and that's why it was such a hard decision for Justine to make, because we're just like, well, whatever, just make the decision. Like, you don't care that much about Laura. Like, why is it such a difficult decision for you to make when, you know, you don't really know Lakin that well, you know what I mean? So now we got the tea there. What do you think about this whole scenario, this little scene that we had here?
I mean, we kind of called it. We knew that something had happened, either that they were under the impression they were going to vote together and then she was surprised they didn't, or so we knew something like that had happened. So I was happy they cleared it up right away, because they started 2 days ago's episode with Sally and Justine not being in a good place, and then they ended it with them not being in a good place. So we had a ton of questions and obviously didn't want that to continue to be the case. So I'm happy they kind of were able to clear it up right away. And it seems like what they call what's their Celine. Yeah, seems like Celine's back on track. So
well, I mean, we definitely like felt that I felt anyways that their relationship was like, it was still fine, but I still think that depending on what happens with Johnny and Sally outside the house, that it could fracture their relationship depending on how controlling he gets, or like whether she chooses to believe him or whatnot. So I still think that their friendship could be hanging on a thread here, but I mean, they definitely have a good friendship connection. So hopefully that I'm wrong there completely, and regardless of what happens between her and Johnny, that they will still be able to survive. But what I thought was interesting too is though that Justine, like, they don't think that Carrington likes Laurel. They're just like, and we
he really doesn't
see that, you know, they're like, yeah, like, I don't think that he's that into her. And she's like, well, you know, at least it seems as though he's becoming a better person with Laurel, and that he's trying to change or whatnot. But I don't think that they see anything between them, and I think that's why they wanted to keep Lakin and Bennett.
Well, I mean, we don't see anything either, so it's kind of refreshing that we agree with them.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, Chantele, I'm gonna get what we talked about last night really fast. I'm gonna get the survey link.
Sure. So Calvin, you know, I see him at the outdoor kitchen area, and he's like making a grilled cheese for Moira, and like, I mean, I guess because I don't find him charming, that I just didn't care for him making this grilled cheese and like being kind of suave and debonair about like this grilled cheese. Would you be turned on and into Calvin if he made a grilled cheese like that for you?
I don't think I could ever be turned on or into Calvin at all. So like, probably not. Not in a mean way. Like, maybe I'd be like, we'd probably like be friends like in real life, but yeah, like, and you know what, it's so crazy because we've been like, I've seen a much more like funny side to him and much more playful side to him the last like few episodes, like to where like him and Moira are just like constantly laughing together. So I can see how people enjoy being around him, but strictly friend zone for me.
For sure. And like, one thing that he was saying is that you know, he never knows what he's going to get from Moira, and that's what he likes about her. And I was like, I feel like that's completely opposite. I feel like you know exactly what you're going to get from Moira, and she never really changes it up. Like, I'm not like, ooh, like, I'm so excited to be around Moira because she's so unpredictable, you know? Like, I'm like, she's quite predictable. You know she's going to laugh. You know she's going to blink. And, you know, I don't know. I think that she's very predictable, personally.
I mean, she hasn't really surprised me at all this season.
At all.
You've been able to call her every move.
Say again?
You've been able to call her every move.
Pretty much. It's like a new guy in the house, so she's probably going to go for them and then tell her girlfriend not to make any moves towards that guy. And she'll probably cry over the fact that she's not into him in the end.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So, you know, he brings over the sandwich / grilled cheese, but he's like, you know what this actually is? It's a moment. And yeah, I didn't really think it was actually a moment.
I mean, when your life is that boring, maybe everything's a moment.
Maybe that's what it is.
That's really mean. I'm sorry. I know we have Calvin stands in here, apparently, like out of nowhere.
Yeah, where's Deja? Deja's been standing. Yeah. I'm gonna ask her if she wants him to make her grilled cheese and what kind of cheese she'd want it with.
Deja, come get your mans.
EJ says, high school teacher. She's a high school teacher. Love Island was the only good television yesterday. It gave me hope after the saltiness of the debate. I didn't even watch the debate. I just read Twitter, and I was just like, oh dear.
This
is not great.
I will. I couldn't. I didn't want to be in a bad mood last night.
Well, Anna, I'll have to say, I mean, we'll talk about it obviously more in depth later, but I didn't want to watch Jelly's date. I didn't want to try to buy into whatever they were saying to each other because I'm so turned off by Johnny that, like, I didn't want to even enjoy the date with them. Jordan, hi, Jordan. Team Celine, of course. Team Celine all the way. I love a good girl friendship. You know, I've always been a girl's girl. I've always had a best friend. Like, it's just how I roll. And so I get that vibe. And so that makes me very happy that they seem to be working on their friendship still.
Yes.
Crazel says, I wish Sally and Justine could win the prize money together. I love their friendship, Celine for life. Absolutely. That would be a nice little twisteroo. They had it first season 1 where your girl, Kira, she was bisexual. And so she was willing to kind of entertain a relationship with a woman. And so I guess if they had stick together, they could have maybe won the prize money. Who knows?
Potentially. Absolutely.
I mean, I would have been progressive.
Yeah. I know. That's coming. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if that would have been the case now that you bring that up.
If they were them or it would have been progressive.
Yeah, I just don't like, as much as we talk about America not being ready for like a black couple to win, like I don't know what makes me
I think they're more open to having a lesbian couple win more than a black couple win. I think that it's easier for that to be the narrative, in my opinion. Hi, Realist. How are you doing?
Hi,
hey, guys. We're ready to witness J.Lo make history. I really, really hope so. But I'm just worrisome because when I hear about some of the things that happened within that debate about, you know, the people that the president of the United States wants to protect and remain to have protected, it just, and the amount of people that are supporters of his narrative and his way of thinking, it scares me to think that it's possible that Justine and Caleb may not win. I think that they are the #1 couple to win. I think that they are the most deserving of the win, the title and the money, 100%. But just the debate itself made me feel as though I'm not sure if America is ready to make that be the vote. I'm worried. I don't know.
We find out tonight, right?
Tonight is the night. I don't know. What do you think about, like, I've only read tweets about what was going on in the debate, but, you know, it just didn't seem like it was a lot. Some of the topics were that the president is very open to creating unity within the Black community and all the other communities, you know?
they always pander to that narrative every election. And to me, it's all about their voting history, what they voted for in the past. Obviously, one is better than the other. I'm not neither.
But what do you think? I'm talking about in terms of, you know, how many voters have the same mindset as the president would be, you know, standing in the way of J-Lo making history tonight.
I guess I'm confused with your question. I'm sorry.
I think that most people in America do not want to have a Black couple win. And I felt as though with seeing how the debate was going and what the president was standing for, that means that there's hundreds of millions of people that do not want this narrative. Do you think that they can overcome it on this television show?
Yes, because I don't think Trump fans watch Love Island.
Really?
I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
It's a CBS show.
Yeah, but I think they don't watch Love Island because it's diverse.
Okay.
I could see them watching Bachelor or Bachelorette more so, but Love Island is just not, especially because it's new to America. It's only in its second season. I don't know. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I think if the older or like the middle-aged older Facebook ladies will probably vote for Calvin and Moira, but anyone that's not a casual, I think, will vote for J-Lo.
No, but do you think then, because now you're saying that the Facebook vote is going to Moira and Calvin, do you think that is going to allow the Jelly fans to be able to overtake Justine and Caleb because of the fact that the vote is being split?
I don't believe so. I don't think so. I think most of the people that are going to vote and that are passionate about voting, are the people that are like you and I and the people that watch these podcasts. I think they're all fairly young and typically on Reddit, and I don't think the vote will be split. And I think it'll be a landslide.
From seeing the debate yesterday and just like the state of the United States, that I don't know if I feel as confident that they're going to win, even though they're most deserving. That's kind of my opinion, but I don't live there.
Yeah, I know. I think hands down they'll win. I'm not worried about it.
Okay. CJ says, Moira seems to be happy now. I used to feel bad for her. She just still looks so miserable at the villa. 100% CJ. She definitely is looking happier now. I do think it could be a little bit fake. I even wrote down with like that moment that Calvin did. I'm like, faking a moment sounded more like it. It's kind of like they wanted some, you know, screen time for them looking cute together as a couple. And so they're like, Calvin, go do something. We'll film it. And he decided to make a grilled cheese a moment. But I don't really think that they have anything going for them as a couple. So you see that Carrington is talking to the boys in the change room, and he didn't end up calling out Johnny as some people were assuming that he was going to do. But he was saying that he was glad that he was here. I think he knew from the girls that the girls were connecting more with Lakin. He felt that Bennett was actually a good guy. He really liked Lakin, but he was happy to be here. So do you think that they didn't show us everything, or do you think that that's kind of how everything went down?
I mean, I'm sure they didn't show us everything in the sense of what you brought up yesterday about how the producers wanted to split vote. So I think that was kind of the only other thing left out. I don't really think we're missing much there.
No.
Do you?
I don't know. Hi, Semyon. How are you? You're from the UK. Well, my family's from London, so maybe we're related. I don't know. I'll be staying up for the finale, which is at 2 a.m. for me. Go J-Lub. Do you want my little linkaroo? Because then you could watch it. Wait, it still would be the same time. Never mind. Never mind. It'll still be 5 hours ahead, or 6. No, it's 5 right now.
I was like 8, but 8 for me.
It's 5 hours ahead for me. Nice to see you again, Simeon. So do I think that they left anything out? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Carrington did maybe confront Johnny about it, or it was a little bit more heated, because Johnny did say like, yeah, Justine didn't want you to, he emphasized the fact that Justine didn't want them to stay. And that seemed as though it was in defense of him allowing Selly to convince him to vote him out. That's what it seemed like. And that because Carrington basically said, like, Caleb must have fought hard for me. So
yeah, I think well, I assumed Johnny was going to do that anyway, kind of just blame it on Selly and or Justine, but because, you know, he can't take any heat, apparently.
Well, it's also Carrington said at the end of that conversation was that he knows now that he deserves to be there. What do you think he meant by that?
Carrington said that? Deserves to be there?
Yeah, it's like
I don't know if that's the right word to use. Maybe, I mean, I would, if I was Carrington though, and I was like voted out at that point in the game, I would be really, really shook that they didn't keep me like as an OG when they essentially pretty much kept everyone else.
I agree, but I think, like, I know some people yesterday were saying, like, it shouldn't matter what Ariel says, but I think that they were taking that into consideration, and I think they're being truthful when they felt as though Bennett and Lakin had a better chance to maybe progress outside of the villa. And it's that they knew basically that Carrington is not interested in Laurel enough for them to have a lasting relationship outside the villa. And I think that that's the context that they were basing their vote on, not the fact that he was an OG. If they were both OGs, like if it was Kirsten and Carrington, I don't think that they would ever have done that. But I think that because Laurel, as we said, like, I'm sure Shelley wouldn't mind her gone, like the reminder of Castlemore. She's also wasn't an OG. He's also really not that into her. Like, let's give a couple that we like a little bit better the chance, I think, is what kind of went on there.
I think, yeah, overall, I think Carrington stayed because he's Carrington.
Yes, he's Carrington.
They all know he doesn't like Laurel. We all know he doesn't like Laurel. He doesn't deserve to be there because he's not going to win the money and he's not going to get love in the end. So I don't know why he thinks he deserves it, but
I wonder if they get a stipend for being in there. For instance, for Big Brother, they usually get, I don't know, say $1,000 a week or something like that while they're in the house. I wonder if they get that on Love Island or if it's only for the prize.
I would imagine they do, only because they've had to quarantine for so long before. So
that would be a per diem.
Maybe, yeah.
You get a per diem, it'll probably be like $120 a day or something per diem.
Because think about all the, like Mercedes, I think it was, or Faith had said that they were all there from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And just waiting for their chance to go in. You could turn off the light if you want.
For sure. So you must have liked this next scene. So Justine and Caleb, Justine in the shower and asking Caleb to tell her a story. So what did you feel about that?
Crack on, obviously. I thought it was so cute.
Definitely cute. Anna says the bait was a mess. LOL. Yes, it was a mess from what I could tell. Everybody was comparing it to toddlers and tiaras, or like the fights between the dance moms, Abby and the other mom, or like the other coach or whatever. Nicole, hi Nicole, how are you? No, Nicole says exactly. Johnny makes my head hurt looking at him. Yeah, I'm done with, like, I think he's a very attractive man, but his personality is showing through too much, and I can't take it anymore. EJ says, I think the producers know that the tide has changed towards Selly and Johnny, and they didn't really show much of their date. Actually, I disagree. I felt as though, well, and a lot of other people that I've been listening to what they have to say are kind of agreeing with me that they seem to have gotten the most airtime on their date, I felt. Like, we're going to get into it a little bit more for sure. But like, I felt like, firstly, they interrupted J-Lub talking about their date to go to get her text. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, they had the first part where they're sitting in an alone theater where they got to confess their love. And then they had the contemporary dancers and they're throwing the roses and then they dance on the stage or whatever. It just seemed like there was a lot more going on for them.
Yeah, I forgot about the dancer part. Yeah, they kind of had like dinner and a show, essentially. Whereas Calvin was choking on an oyster.
True. But that moment in the shower definitely was her shining armor, knight in shining armor.
Made my life. They make my life better.
King of Cups, right there. CJ says, I agree with you, Chantele. I skipped through all the Johnny and Sally date scene. I wasn't really paying attention to it. I made a little bit of notes, but I definitely, oh my God, am I already that behind? I'm definitely, not really as engaged as I was before, but I'm not sure if they're going to lose still right now, just because of how yesterday went. I was like, I don't know. I voted, but I don't know. He just says, what happened? What have these people been doing since this episode was taped? Do they go to a hotel and wait to tape the finale? Did they go to a hotel together? Let's think. So the finale might actually be live.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure they're still there.
They might have stretched it out, and so then they will show all the recaps, and then they might do the actual finale part live. It's still going to be a decent time in Vegas, so it's going to be still whatchamacallit, 6 p.m. So they will have decent lighting out there. Won't be too hot. I wouldn't be surprised if they just show stuff beforehand and then they tune in live, or they just are filming that right now, and then afterwards they clean up, take their stuff, pack, and go to the hotel room. So they're just going to go back to the hotel that they started at probably beforehand. I'm sure they probably kept their rooms maybe.
I wonder if it's in the Cromwell, like all their rooms. Would make sense.
I would assume so. Whatever hotels they've been doing all their promos for us, I think is where they would probably be staying. Jamil, hi Jamil, how are you? I voted 3 times for J-Love. They better win. I mean, I support everybody wanting to vote for them, and I think that they deserve to win, but I'm just scared that they might not. Dawn, hi Dawn, nice to meet you. So Dawn says, I think that it says something that no one has come out of that villa and spoken positively about Johnny. No one, absolutely. That's definitely a thing. And what his father said, I think, is really indicative of Johnny as a person. Also, when he's talking to Sally about the, his son being like, I'm gonna teach him how to be a ladies' man. I got you, didn't I? I was like, that doesn't sit well with me. I don't know if that's what I like. And so I'll tell you what happened with Kirsten. So I just saw the little snippet of it, but Kirsten and Zach were on, I believe, I don't know whose live it was, Instagram Live. And Kirsten said that Johnny actually made her feel pretty uncomfortable because him taking the sunglasses off of Sally's face, that wasn't the first time that he's done it. He's done it other times within the villa. And so she never really felt fully comfortable around Johnny because he always kind of had that possessive, controlling demeanor about him.
Good to know.
Noted. They're not, there's no way that they'll be able to stay together, or Sally is going to, it's not good.
That's actually really sad.
It's not good. Dawn also says, you see Facebook moms are voting for Calvin and Moira, but not J-Love. No, I know, Dawn. That's why I'm saying that with this split vote, I think that J-Love needed all these Moira votes, they needed them. And so if they split those, I'm worried that the first place is going to be now split between second and third, allowing Johnny and Sally to move up into the first place. That's what I'm worried about. Realist says, let's just play the racial uprisings have sparked enough fear in networks that they will give in to the majority favorite. Hope so. But and we also do know, though, with gaming laws, especially in Nevada, I don't think that they would be able to lie about a vote that they've given to the public. The woman from After the Island also stated that they have to be honest with that because it's a law it's a gaming law. So I will assume that whatever the answer is, whether we like it or not, I think that they will have been doing it fairly because they'll definitely become under scrutiny, especially if J-Love doesn't win, regardless of if it's an honest vote or not.
By scrutiny, probably some CBS will burn down somewhere.
Karen, hi Karen. My man is a Trump fan and he's obsessed. What?
Karen. Oh.
What do you mean he's a Trump fan? I'm so confused. Are you joking?
Karen, find a new man's.
Karen, kidding. I met him. I like him. Is a Trump fan and he's obsessed? Really? I'm confused, Karen. Chelsea says, worried too. Guess just have to wait and see. The reason for them not winning would be sad, though. Well, I mean, we can tell by the state of what's been going on this year in the world, but America especially, that you know, as much as everybody likes to say that they see no color or whatnot, there is definitely still a very strong divide, and there's a lot of systemic racism. There's a lot of oppression that's still going on that people are choosing to ignore. But I talk about 2020 as being like 2020 vision. We're now seeing everybody for their true colors. We're seeing the truth in how people are interacting and being seen in this world. And so it will be very indicative of how progressive and how much we have moved forward so far in this year with this win or not win.
Oh, don't.
It's possible, man. It's just the vote's not good for them.
I mean, it's also possible Laurel and Carrington will win.
I think it's more possible for J-Lub to lose than it is for Laurel and Carrington.
I'm just being a brat.
Laurel and Carrington. Hi, Anna. New Anna. Trump fans definitely watch Love Island. Okie dokie.
The other
thing. So he's obsessed with Love Island, and he's a Trump fan. Interesting.
Well, I just don't know any Trump fans, so I'm sorry. My view is jaded, I guess.
I mean, I don't know if I could marry a Trump fan.
I don't know one Trump fan, like personally.
And I know, I don't know exactly what her boyfriend's background is, but he's definitely not like Anglo-Saxon, like, you know.
Most aren't. That's why I said he's probably going to win again.
No, I'm saying though, like Karen's boyfriend though. So like, it's surprising that he'd be a Trump fan, but he is obsessed with the show. So that's problematic. Realist says the audience's majority is fairly young. I feel like the Trumpets aren't watching. Okay.
That's the vibe I got too, but apparently I'm wrong.
I mean, there's a lot more than you think. They're hiding. Simeon says, completely agree with you, Chantele. America would rather a gay couple than a black couple. Hundo. From my perspective, I could be completely wrong, but you know, growing up in film and television industry that crosses over from Canada to the United States, there's definitely, you know, I was telling a little bit about it yesterday about Hallmark, but like Hallmark won't allow, it won't allow a gay couple, but they definitely won't allow an interracial couple on Hallmark. And they usually do not want the black people to be too dark skinned. I've seen casting notes being like, not too dark, as like part of the casting scenes. Like they're trying to, I'm open-minded, but make sure that they're not too dark, or make sure they don't talk too black, whatever that means.
Yeah, whatever that means.
I mean, that usually means to me Southern, because like Black Canadians, most of their lineage goes back into like to Jamaica or like somewhere in the Caribbean. Firstly, not directly to Africa. And they're not part of like that U.S. slave train that American Black history kind of evolves through. But so when they say African American accent or something like that, you're just like, what? Southern Ebonics? Like, I don't know what that means, because anyways, that's another topic for another day. EJ says the Sally Thing and Johnny are also a minority couple. So are you saying that they're more willing with them? Yes, I do, EJ. I think that they feel like they're being progressive. Also, you know, the fact that Johnny is mixed, Sally, yes, she's Hispanic, but it's just the color of the skin is a little bit more easy for them to digest, or feels as though the audience is easier for them to digest, to have that their skin tones and their ethnic backgrounds are a little bit more socially accepted. Sally's Hispanic and Johnny is mixed. Yes, exactly. I don't know if we would be having this same conversation if Justine was mixed as well. Mixed people always have been deemed, it's like higher esteemed. You know, they were called the house Negroes back in the slave days. Even I've mentioned many times on this podcast that my grandmother even has colorism and doesn't like she has one daughter who was darker skinned, and my mom is super, like, way lighter than me. Like my mom's super, 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 super light, and same with my aunt. And she favored those two over like the darker skinned daughter. And it's always been about skin color. Like my mom, anyways. So yes, I do think that colorism exists within America, and that they would be easier for them to digest having a lighter skinned couple win. Karen says Biden is brutal too. Like, does he have fans? Ew.
Not as many as Trump.
I mean, it's just the lesser of two evils at this point, right? I think.
No, you're right.
I think, like, I don't know. We'll be talking about voting stuff on next weekend and or this weekend on Saturday. So that makes me a good segue. So, I mean, regardless of if we're not really appreciating the candidates that you have to choose from, like, still exercise your right to vote. A lot of people have put their lives on the line to be able to offer this privilege to everybody within America. And so on Saturday, I'm going to be speaking with 3 other Rob is a Podcast women about women in reality TV. And so we'll be having that conversation. And then after turning into a text banking session where you will be encouraged to do absentee ballots and you'll just kind of get more information on how to do so. So if you're interested in joining in on the conversation and then the text banking session, it's going to be next Saturday at 5 p.m. and go to @supermajority and just register, and then you'll get all the information that you need to participate.
Do it.
Mojojo. Hi, Mojojo. Nice to meet you. Love Island audience is very young. True, which means that they can also be really impressionable. Like, I've seen on TikTok some very big Trump supporters. Dawn fans forever. Kirsten is a Trump supporter. We figured so, being from Texas and being from a military family, that she was most likely going to be of that, political stance.
Mm-hmm.
Rila says, yes, Sully and Johnny are more palatable because they are lighter, and in skin color, colorism absolutely plays a role.
Agreed.
Karen says, okay, so wait, Chantele, you're no longer a Johnny Sully fan? What did I miss? Yeah, so Karen, it's kind of been like, I didn't like the visit with them there with their parents. I didn't like how Johnny's father said that this isn't the game plan that we came with. His mom didn't seem that he was very happy with her. I didn't like how Johnny kept on turning the conversation, being like, oh, like, I don't want to talk about Casa Amor anymore. Casa Amor is behind us. Like, I making me feel, it's like he's not taking any ownership for the fact that he did something and maybe other people around him haven't gotten over it. And so I just felt that he was creating a cycle for Sully to be in an abusive relationship, basically, with him, where she's going to end up starting to push away her friends and families in order to be with him. And so I'm just seeing all the red flags right now within and projecting what I think might go down the road with their relationship. And so at this point, I'm a Sully fan. But I think that also with that conversation that she had with Justine, even though I feel that Justine may not have been the best time for her to have brought it up yesterday or 2 days ago. But I do feel as though Sully's reaction to what she was saying, her defensiveness, showed that she's already starting to be kind of mind manipulated and to control about wanting to be with Johnny. Everything that Johnny says go. It's Johnny and Sully forever, and it's them against the world. Nobody else has to, believe us as long as we love each other, and that's just tightening the bond between them. Cool, but it's also separating them from everybody else around them because he doesn't want them to influence her decision. So that's kind of what I think has been going on. Do you have anything to add with why I'm no longer a Jelly fan?
Well, Anna sent me some tea.
Ooh.
So it's a picture of him and his friend. And
I saw that too.
The caption says, "My boy Johnny on CBS tonight, get to the bag."
Gets the bag. And so his friend is insinuating that he's going to go in there and get the money. But I've said this a few times before, being that I don't care if people are coming in to play the game because we do not know how they were vetted to be part of the show. And so they were probably enticed by the fact that there was $100,000 at the end. So I'm not mad at him thinking, at his friends being like, go in and get the money. Like, who cares? Like, and then maybe falling. I do think he cares about Sully. I don't think that that's completely a fallacy, but I do think that he may not be mature enough. And there's role model of how to be a man and a boyfriend and a partner in a relationship, it seems flawed.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't mind that if he had his intentions of going in there and making the money. I don't mind that. It's kind of like people are going on Big Brother and people like, oh my God, like he went for the money. He shouldn't have gone for the money. And I'm like, why? He's on a game show for money. Like, if he has an opportunity to win $10,000, let him win $10,000. Like, anyways, you know what I'm talking about.
But if Johnny wins the money over Jaleb winning, I will kill someone.
No, don't say that, but you'll be upset.
Kidding.
Rila says, Karen, she's been come to see the light. It's not come to see the light. It's that before I wasn't allowing the, his girlfriend in outside world completely influence how I was feeling about how he was in the villa, because that's not what I was seeing from, how he was treating Sally at that moment. And we both decided that we weren't going to judge him from actions that we hadn't seen. And so now he's shown these actions, and then everything else is just now compounding. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of done with him before, but you were giving him more benefit of the doubt. Not in a bad way. Just I was already like so hard on the J-Lib train. So I was like, my mind was already gone. But yeah, you're right. Like when everything compounded, it was just, you can't look past it.
So Anna says Calvin and Moira seem like really good friends that like to kiss sometimes. It's strange how producers are pushing them down our throats, though. Yeah, it is a little bit strange, and I totally agree with you there. I mean, I think it's because I think that they would have preferred to go all in on Carrington and Laurel, but Carrington kept on fucking that up. And so they're trying to have another all-white couple be a contender, basically.
You have to, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's really it. Like, I think that they want somebody. Karen says, haha, Realist, you must be right. I mean, it's not come to see the light. It's just making him be accountable for his actions. I'm fed up with how he's been treating her, and I don't think that it shows that he's going to be a good person down the road. Tamika says, I thought that it was very interesting that Sally said she questioned if Carrington and Laurel's relationships could stand the test of time out of the villa. I could say the same about her and Johnny. Well, she thinks her and Johnny are really, really strong. And she's bought into the narrative that he's sold her, I feel, about they've overcome something, they've worked something through, they still love each other after this whole event. And so she feels as though they're stronger together for it. And so she feels that, I know that they both feel that they're the strongest couple. Do you agree? No?
It's delusion, but yeah.
Well, I mean, in that sense, they have. I think that it's kind of building, though, her being in like an abusive relationship situation. It's like,
that's what I mean. I feel like when she's out of the situation and she's able to see everything through a clearer lens, I think she will realize that they were not the strongest. They were in the beginning, but
Johnny really went and fucked that up. I don't know why, if he's going in there for the money, why he fucked that up so bad.
Could you have imagined if like he didn't do that and it would have been, and Caleb and Justine were still progressed the way they were? I think it would have been, it would have been you and Karen versus me and everyone else, like even harder.
If he wasn't the guy that he is, if he was the guy that he appeared to be at the beginning, there would be no doubt, because I do still see them have passion. Like I do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would have been, would still be hardcore Sally Johnny.
Oh, but like there would be contest. I don't think. I think the only way that like I can be feeling that Johnny and Sally, that Justine and Caleb are rising is because Sally and Johnny are falling. Like if they had stayed up and continued to grow, I don't think that I would even be able to really compare them.
Really?
Because I feel something more between them. Regardless of Johnny being a shitty person, I do feel more from them, even still at this point.
Fair.
So right before they go to bed, they're talking about like, oh, look, you guys are the final four. Like, can you believe that like at one point all these beds were full? Like, oh my gosh. And Sally's like, so can I wake you guys up tomorrow with pots and pans? And they're all like,
no,
thank you. Please don't. No. They're like, yes, we mind. I'm like, we mind too, Sally. It's just don't do that. Nobody ever wants that. Nobody ever wants to be woken up with pots and pans. Like you can scream, that's fine, but the pots and pans, it's such a jarring sound. It's like so rude.
Shout out to Josh.
Josh.
Shout out to Evil Dick. Oh wait, we can't talk about him.
All right. Well, he doesn't listen to Reality Realness. He listens to
You never know. They're everywhere.
So in the morning, Sally gets a text. Like, of course, they give it to Sally to wake everybody up with their loud mouth. And so it says hashtag big date energy, hashtag all for love. And then Laurel gets a text. And she's getting a date. That's going to be their final super date with her and Carrington. It says hashtag buckle up, hashtag going places. And they were kind of like obviously trying to figure out what there's going to be with the date. And Sally's like, "You're going home." And I was like, "Sally, too soon."
Sally, shut the fuck up. You just voted them out.
I mean, nobody seemed to be offended by it, but it was just like,
I was like, Jesus, Sally.
So it kind of shows though, because remember people before when the whole Lagan thing, it's kind of like she does just say things and doesn't really realize like how they might come across. So I'm still team Sally. I don't mind her as much as a lot of people mind her right now.
No, I don't mind her.
So the girls help Laurel get ready. I thought that was really cute. Like, I think Laurel's just so pretty. Like, I like looking at her face. I think that she's a really nice energy to her. I just wish that she wasn't so into this boring young lad Carrington. Like, I just wish that she was able to find someone a little bit better. But
I'm literally not interested in her at all.
I'm going to hold CBS accountable for this because they could have chosen some people that were a few years older. If someone's even 26 over 23, they may be more interested in not just like getting booty with the girls over at Casa Amor. I know that they want the drama, but they also want the love story. So if you want a good balance, I think you need to go a little bit older with people that are not going to be so like kid in a candy store with all these.
But then Chantele, we wouldn't have all these dramatic recouplings.
I mean, I've enjoyed the season. I've told everybody that already, but I would have preferred to see have more couples that I was getting behind. Like, I like seeing people fall in love. I like seeing like strong couple relationships grow. Like, that's what I enjoy about the show more so than seeing the dramatic recouplings personally.
Yeah, me too, but not everyone like us.
Definitely not everyone, I guess, but like I also don't care about a 22-year-old falling in love on TV. You know what I mean? It's just like they could be
they're not going to fall in love on TV.
Pardon? Well, exactly. Exactly. That's basically my point. Is that they're not going to fall in love. So it's going to be Carrington's 7th date, and it's their first date. So first and last date, probably the first and last date for the rest of their life, because I just really don't know if they're going to read each other outside.
They're not. The second Carrington's out, Carrington's going to go hit up Lauren and Lagan. Double L. Thruple.
Yeah, he likes those Scorpios. I think that's what it is. Yeah, maybe it's a throuple. Actually, probably not, though, because Laurel and Kirsten are good friends. So I don't know if she would actually go there with Carrington at this point.
No. Lauren and Lakin.
No, I think you said no. But I'm saying Laurel. Yeah. Lauren is friends with Kirsten, and so she may not go there with Carrington because she sees how strong feelings that Kirsten still has for Carrington.
How does Kirsten play into this? I said Lauren, the British girl.
And British Lauren is really good friends with Kirsten.
Oh, she is?
Yes.
Oh.
So yeah, they've been like talking like on Instagram and being like, I can't wait to see you, all this stuff. And then even when I wrote down, I checked my notes and it said that her Lauren's favorite people in the villa was Justine because she was so funny, and Kirsten were her 2 favorite people in the villa.
Makes sense. Okay.
So anyways, that's what I was trying to say. I'm like, what's happening?
You kept saying Laurel, and I was like, wait, what?
The name is similar. They're already confusing me. Like, I'm on the right track here, I swear. So Laurel and Carrington comes out. You didn't particularly like his shirt. I didn't mind it personally.
It literally looked, what did I say?
Graphic tee or?
No, it looked like a switchboard mixed with the abstract painting. It just was so ugly.
I didn't mind it. It was fine.
But
Justine says that Laura looked like a snack, and I thought she did look really cute.
In her little lavender dress. She's so cute.
Definitely really cute. So this is the moment that you really enjoyed, other than what you really, really, really enjoyed. But is Team Celine is kind of bored, and I think that it was really good for branding that they kind of got like, okay, they got their Team Celine out. I think that even Love Island, the Twitter thread is always like, is this the best couple in the villa? Like Team Celine, like they definitely have been pushing that. And so I would really hope, I would love it if CBS did some sort of spin-off show between the two of them. Like that would be epic. Like
I need more.
So cute. She calls her a little chicken nugget. I was like, oh,
a little chicken nugget.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And so they wanted to set up a romantic date for them as a friendship couple. I love that.
Mm-hmm. It's their healthy breakfast, and Justine's like, nah, it's got Nutella on it.
Hashtag best friends. Hashtag sister. Hashtag Celine for life.
Hashtag soul sister.
Hashtag soul sisters. I do love them a lot, and I'm praying that Johnny doesn't come in between their relationship.
I don't think he will. She's gonna see the light when she's out and be like, skirt.
I really hope so. I am worried. I'm really worried.
I am, but I think Sally has too many strong, like, women around her, and like, I feel like strong relationships with people to let that happen.
Okay.
If he lived close to her, I would say it might be an issue. If he moves to LA, we're in trouble.
Sabian says, I do think Justine and Caleb will win. The winner and runner-up of the season 1 are big J-Lo supporters, and they're openly rooting for them on their podcast. It would be bad press if they rig the votes. I don't think they'll rig the votes. I'm just saying that I think the votes being split between Calvin and Moira and J-Lo.
But why do you think that why don't you think that that would harm Jelly more?
Because Jelly and Johnny already have, like, Johnny and Sally already have their fans. Like, they already have the strong people that have been voting for them consistently.
But I'm talking about like casuals. Like, what if casuals really like them and then they change to Calvin and Moira instead?
They still have their strong fan base. I think that they're always going to be sitting in second place. And I think that because they're not getting all the rest of the votes that are going to Moira and Calvin, that it's possible that Justine and Caleb will not be able to overtake the votes that are still locked in for Johnny and Sally.
Okay.
Because their votes are being split now off into Calvin. We need all the Calvin and Moira votes on J-Lub in order for them, I think, to be able to overtake Justine or Johnny and Sally.
Okay.
I think they've always had the stronger fan base, regardless of what Johnny's been doing.
Well, they've had the following before even coming in there, so.
Exactly. And so I think that they are the more worthy couple, yes, but I think that because they're not getting all the secondary votes, those are all being dispersed, it might not allow them to get enough to overtake Johnny and Sally.
Well, you're gonna find out first, right?
Well, you could watch it, obviously. Oh my God, there's so many comments. Karen also says, Laurel is my fave. I think she's a doll. I wish she had a good man. Yes, we totally agree with you here, Karen. She deserves somebody way better. Her parents know that too. His parents know that too. Somebody says, I'm not from London, but we may well be related. You never know. It's true. You never know. M. Jordan, hi there. Nice to meet you. So I doubt that they rig the vote for J-Lub. Rig the vote. J-Lub is definitely winning this. It's so rare to see Johnny and Sally fan on Twitter. Literally, everyone stands J-Lub, but Love Island wants Sally and Johnny to win so badly. Yes, I think that the Twitter culture and the Reddit culture definitely want J-Lub to win. But those are the people that are active. I think that the people that are just watching the TV from their home that are not part of the Twitter community have a completely different mindset of the people that are super fans here. And so that is why I'm thinking that, the people that are not part of the Twitter universe, they're not going to want to post who they're interested in if everybody's going to be coming for them. Like the J-Lub stands are pretty aggressive with their opinions of them being a winner. If I were not J-Lub stan, I would not go into a Twitter forum or a Reddit forum and say like, oh, Team Sally. Like I would probably avoid that because people would just come for you with pitchforks. So I think that there may be more fans hidden that we aren't aware of.
Sounds like voting in America.
Right? Well, I mean, if you look at it, we never get our way on like even Big Brother. Like you'd think that there's so much, super fans that are watching Big Brother, and then you know, a vote doesn't go the way that you want. You're like, oh, because the stupid casuals, like they don't know what's going on. Like they don't get it, or they believe the edit, or like they're following what the producers want, or you know what I mean? Like a lot of people, the people that are on podcasts that are in Reddit and Twitter, they're more woke and more conscious to what's going on. And that's where all those conversations are being had. The people that aren't usually aren't there.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just preparing people. Okay. Just in case. Rila says, yes, Semi, I agree. I feel the pressure will force them to allow J-Lo to win. I mean, only if the vote goes that way. I don't think that they're going to alter the votes.
They're going to win, guys.
Selly and Johnny's date was literally so cringy. Same with Moira's. The other two dates were way better. I agree with you, Karen. That's another thing, too, is that, you know, since I got the ick on Johnny, that I don't even want to watch him confess his love and all that stuff for Selly, because I do feel still like the connection between them. I don't think that is fake, but I don't want to support that relationship right now, so I can't watch it.
Absolutely not. I literally was zoning out the whole time they were talking because I just don't believe anything.
Right. Tamika says Laura was excited to go on their first and last date, and all I could say was, yes, baby girl, you are right about that. It's your first and last date. Yes, I said the same thing, Tamika. I think it's their last date as well. I do not think that they're going to even try.
He wasn't even looking at her. Like, he just is so not into her.
Not at all. On their date, I didn't even really write down much about their date at all. Did I even write anything?
His driving gloves.
Carrington's date was them driving around Vegas to a picnic, and talking about, like, you know, I hadn't heard my name come out of your mouth. Like, I felt so relieved, I was so happy. And like, she's saying all these really nice things to him, and he's like barely looking at her, and like he's saying some like lip service back, but like, and it was nice things that he was saying, but you knew that he wasn't being real. Like, you knew that.
If I was on a date with a guy and he was doing that to me, I'd be like, okay, I'll just go fuck myself then. Bye.
I'll be like, can you drop me home? Mm-hmm. Like, bye.
And his driving gloves, Chantele.
I don't mind driving gloves, obviously. I'm really, when J-Lo barely got airtime,
he's still wearing them.
To go this far. That is true. Sorry, what'd you say?
I said, I'm pretty sure he's still wearing them. He's going to wear them during the finale. I know it.
I don't think he will, but he's probably keeping them if he can.
Oh my God, he's so ridiculous.
Definitely, I agree. I don't think that they expected J-Lo to go this far, but I'm just worried that CBS isn't progressive enough to allow a full Black couple to win the show. You could tell, like, they've been a little bit better, I'd say, about their representation, like, in the show, giving them more airtime or whatnot. What do you think about the order of the dates? So the date order went Carrington and Laurel. Next up will be Justine and Caleb. Then it was Moira and Calvin. And then the final date was Selly and Johnny. Do you think that this has any sort of psychology behind it?
No, because I think that they wanted to give the best date to J-Lo, but to get a helicopter ride to that location, they probably had a certain time slot that they needed to do that in. I mean, their date was, the other dates sucked compared to J-Lo's. They didn't even pale in comparison.
I mean, yeah, I think the helicopter was super cool and expensive.
Like Grand Canyon, are you kidding me?
I know, I've done that before.
Really cool. That's really cool.
I've definitely done that
and before. Then Carrington and Laurel's was the second best, and then the other two were just, what?
I mean, I think that Johnny and Selly's date was pretty. Like, they rented out an entire stage.
Or it's already closed because of COVID.
No, everything's reopened now. Karen, the finale's tonight, girl. That's why I was telling you to come on and talk, because there's one more day of this to go down the rabbit hole of. Simeon says, not even the grand venue and all theatrics could have made up for Johnny and Selly's lackluster conversation on their final date. I think it was really lackluster because we didn't care for it. I actually think what they were saying was good and, like, strong points. But I think that because we're not feeling them anymore, that we didn't give a shit. Anything else about Carrington and Laurel's date? I don't know. Not really. Back to Team Celine, though. They talk about, Justine especially talks about how, I didn't just find a man. I didn't just find love. Like, I found love 3 times. She found love with her man, love with her best friend, and what was the third one?
Love with herself.
With herself, which is
the
great.
Most important one.
Beautiful as well. I did get maybe a little bit choked up when she was smiling, because when she smiles, like, you can tell that she's really, really, really feeling loved. And I really like seeing her like light up like that. I think that, the narrative of her never feeling chosen, I think that, how happy she feels in this relationship is really welcoming. And I really love seeing her light up and smile. So I love that for her, that she found love in herself, for herself, throughout this process. So good. So good. So Justine gets a text next. And with that, it says hashtag love is in the air, hashtag sky high, hashtag Grand Canyon West. And like the first thing that I was thinking of when it said hashtag Grand Canyon West was, I was like, is this like another name for one of Kim and Kanye's children? I'm like, ooh, they named another child Grand Canyon? Like what? Like I totally was like, I'm like, North, Chicago, Grand Canyon, West. That's the first thing. I don't know.
Honestly, you're not even crazy for thinking that.
Right? But that's like, it's actually just what peeked up in my head. I'm like, oh, another Kardashian name?
Oh my God. Americans are embarrassing.
So I want you to talk a little bit about their outfit.
I was really wrong though.
No, but I mean, they still complement each other. Like, I thought it looked good together, but they weren't typically complementary colors.
Well, I mean, following Carrington's shirt, I loved Caleb's shirt. No, but I love those colors together. I don't know, they just both look so cute.
They definitely looked really cute together. I loved her little dress and her little outfit. Like, they just looked very happy. I was very excited for them to get this date. Helicopters are really romantic. They always have them on The Bachelor. I loved how nervous he was getting into the, in the helicopter, and she was kind of supporting him. Like, I really enjoyed the whole experience of them having their little date. It was cute. You loved it, obviously. Any thoughts about it?
I cried.
That's it? Why did you cry?
Because they said, I love you.
They did say I love you, and it was really hard for him to get out, but he did, and then she said it back, and he was like, phew, which was cute. I thought his phew was cute. But she didn't know that she's going to say it back.
Well, but still, it's like you're saying on national television, like saying it to someone not on national television is probably a little scary, even if you think they're going to say it back. But like, imagine if she, for whatever reason, didn't on national television.
I mean, she did take a second longer than I thought she was going to take.
I think she was shocked. I didn't think he was going to say that.
Neither did I. When she does say, though, she repeated that she loves that they're going at their own pace, and they're not feeling pressured to do anything more than what's right for them. And so I think that's really strong, that they don't feel as though they need to do something to prove something or to.
That's why I didn't think they were going to say that. So I was like really surprised. I just was fucking bawling.
I mean, maybe they're just coming in with a Hail Mary where they're trying to get that win, which I'm not mad at them for it. If that's the case too, go for it.
I'm here for it.
Get that W. Anna says they showed Johnny and Sally's full conversation, whereas the cameras seemed to be cutting Caleb's conversation. I still loved it, but the editing seemed choppy to me. Yes, I do feel that the producers or the editors really wanted to show Johnny and Sally's relationship, or like date more, like in its entirety. I did feel that all the other dates were a lot more choppy, and I mean, I think that there must be some sort of psychology behind that they were doing. And one thing that's good about their date too is that Caleb saying that he's taken a road trip to the Grand Canyon before, so he already has some really special memories about the Grand Canyon, and so it's nice to bring your new partner into some of your memory of a good memory. So it's gonna be like, oh my God, I went here with my family, and oh, I saw that before, and like we walked down this trail or whatever they're gonna be talking about. But it is nice to being able to share an experience with a new experience. So I think that's very good for bonding them for the rest of their relationship. They talk about being so lucky. They kiss. They toast to love.
And they were dancing.
Dance. I think they must have been mandatory that everybody had to dance.
No, I'm
Carrington and Laurel.
What am I gonna do if I can't watch Caleb anymore, you guys?
I mean, you're going to be stalking them on the gram, I'm sure. I'm joining the finale today. I live in the UK. Yes, so it will be on then, I guess, at like 2 a.m. for you guys. Will be the finale, unless you can catch it at 5 a.m. as well, which would be the West Coast feed time. But if you want East Coast, yeah, your time, 2 a.m. Divine Me says, I don't feel Moira and Calvin are there. They are more like friends to each other. Okay, so I don't feel like Moira and Calvin. I don't feel Moira and Calvin. They are more like friends to each other. Got it. We agree. Like they're just there. A lot of people call them team furniture, couple furniture, and I kind of agree with that. They're trying to make it look like Calvin's like Mr. Fun Guy Suave, and I don't dislike Calvin, but I'm not really feeling their relationship. Are you? No. Why did he say why did his father say that though? Jordan says, yeah, exactly. And I think that it's because that is what Johnny has been taught was to like be, hot and sexy and like get the girls and like go on the show. And he's like, you can get it. His dad's probably like, you can get any girl that you want. Like, let's go in there and get the money, go get the bag, and that's probably like the mission was. I'm thinking that he may have gone into Casa Amor thinking that maybe he was considering switching to Mercedes and then realizing like, no, he has a better thing to win with Selly. I'm trying to figure out why he did that,
No, I don't think he was going to ever entertain the idea of taking Mercedes back.
I mean, I just don't get why he did that. Karen, you are obsessed with Love Island? Or like we are? I am. I am. I don't know. The reason why I'm saying that is just because like it just doesn't make sense though with the whole game strategy or whatnot. Like, is he just a horny guy that like just lost sight of the focus on the prize?
Yes. Let's not give him that much credit.
Okay. Jamil says, if Caleb don't win today, I will stop watching the show, period.
Same.
I mean, to each their own. I've said it before that I understand people not wanting to watch the show anymore, but then I'm also saying that, it would be better to sign our change.org. Brazil put together a change.org that kind of talks about representation within CBS and, being able to see the full truth as to what's going on with CBS, with minorities, et cetera, et cetera. And so
I'll post it in the chat right now.
Perfect. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And so it would be better to still give people like Justine and Caleb the opportunity to be on these shows as opposed to taking them completely off the air and then CBS doesn't have to do anything to rectify the situation. So how about instead of quitting the show, you sign the change.org instead, and hopefully that can make a difference moving forward. That's my hope. CJ says, Kirsten also said that she didn't understand why people thought Caleb wasn't into Justine. He was. In fact, she sees them as a couple rather than as individuals. Okay, that's good to hear. I didn't watch the whole live yet. But yeah, I haven't heard that yet. But it's good. Sierra, hi, how are you? Sierra says, in the polls, Caleb has been first. So I hope those people can pull through so they can win. Absolutely. It really all depends on who's voting, who's watching in real time. It's already done. It's already done. We'll be able to probably tell in the edit in the very beginning who they're kind of focusing on. CJ says, Kirsten said that she would vote for Laurel and Carrington because that's her girl, but she felt that Caleb will win. I mean, see, it's these split votes, so that's worrisome. Dawn Forever says, Fan Forever, it's still wild to me that people still believe Johnny is genuine. I don't think anybody believes that Johnny is genuine anymore. I think that they just like him. Those same people want Caleb to write out a dissertation to prove he's actually into Justine. I think that Johnny may be a little bit fake, but I do feel that he does have an interest in Sally, and I do feel that there's a connection with them. What are your thoughts?
There's a connection. I just don't think it's a healthy one.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Or like, yeah, how he uses their connection, it becomes weird and manipulative. Chloe, hi Chloe, how are you? Not everything is about racism. I'm like, actually, everything is about racism. Sorry. Like, if you're Black and live in America or North America or actually anywhere in the world and you think that everybody's colorblind, that means that you've been fortunate enough to be able to not see color, and that's privilege. I think that if you've lived in the skin of anybody of color, you know that racism is everywhere and it colors everything.
That's probably the worst comment we've ever had.
True. It's kind of like,
what planet do you live on? Because it's not planet Earth.
It's not North America for sure. M. Jordan says, I really enjoyed this live stream. I found your channel on my recommendation. I'm subbing. Yay. Thanks, M. Jordan. I know we talk a lot. We go really lengthy into this show. I mean, I can't believe we're only an hour 10 in. Yesterday, we got to 3 hours. I don't know. But it was fun. We will go through the whole chat for sure. We love hanging out with you guys. We love having the discussion. So yeah, keep the questions and comments coming. We love, interacting with you guys. Right, Brazil?
Right.
Deja, hey Deja, how are you? We were wondering where you were to come and defend your lover boy, Calvin.
I know, Deja, did you want to save Calvin's life when he was choking on an oyster?
Did you want to feed the oyster to him so you can have a little bit of an aphrodisiac?
Deja's boyfriend hates us.
Wait, where are we actually? So yeah, they toasted their love. So we here see Sally back at the villa. Do you believe that she was being truthful when she was saying that she was so happy for Justine and Caleb?
Yes.
Well, because some people were coming for her, being like, "Oh, she was just jealous of them," or like, she's not really happy for them.
She's happy for them.
I think so too.
She was in a bad place after her parents' conversation with her, and with the conversation that happened with Justine. It probably took her a day to chill out and, settle. And now they're back in it better than ever before. Sally's not a shady person, you guys. I don't think.
Me neither. I don't think so. I think that she's just getting caught up into this little drama.
Absolutely.
Oh, poor thing. So Carrington and Laurel come back from the date, and I swear to God, Carrington wanted to talk about the car like more than he wanted to talk about Laurel. Like he was more excited over a 488 red Ferrari Spider.
I told you.
Just beaming about the car.
And he was still wearing his driving gloves.
I mean, he wanted to look cool. Super cool.
I can't.
Yeah, he's just not that into her, which sucks. Just sucks. But one thing though, they were saying like, Justine, I love you. And she's like, they showed another clip of them saying it out. America, Caleb loves me. And he's like, Justine loves me. I thought that was a cute moment as well, that they confessed their love over the Grand Canyon. It's cute. You must have been dying.
Yeah, I was still crying.
I didn't cry though, which is interesting. Very interesting.
I literally felt nothing for any other date except for theirs.
I didn't write down that I cried any other time. I don't remember crying any other time. I don't know if I've become numb. Loveline Nick says, hi, actually, we haven't seen you in a little while. Nice to see you again. I didn't even see Johnny as mixed. He looks like he's light-skinned black man. According to Trump, he's a black man. Well, absolutely. Like if you have one drop of black, you're black. That's kind of how it is. I read a few stories of some women that were being able to pass that were actually half, and that they just looked very white. And so for like their entire life, they grew up in the white world, and they never actually allowed themselves to admit that they had a black parent. And so I was watching this woman just doing an investigation of her history, and saw that like she thought that she was from white lineage and didn't realize that like her great grandfather, stuff like that, was full black. And so it was actually really interesting with how poorly at times having a drop of black is for somebody, that they would be willing to completely negate half of their bloodline in order to be able to assimilate in society. And so that was only maybe a generation ago. I'm sure there's a lot of people that still will prefer to claim their white side over their black side, you know?
No, I agree with you. What? Sorry.
Realist says, yes, everything is about race when you're not white, right? Especially in America. Absolutely, Realist. It's very easy, as I was saying before, if you are not of color, to be colorblind and not be affected by things race and feel as though people are always bringing up race. Well, do you know what? It's because it's our experience. Up until June 2nd, I really did allow myself to be oppressed, to be really quiet within systemic racism and not want to speak my truth in certain situations, picking and choosing my battles as to when I want to call someone out for feeling mistreated, for any microaggressions or whatnot. But since June 2nd happened, and the death of George Floyd and all the other deaths of people that have been happening within the last 6 months, I've realized that I'm no longer going to be silencing myself in that sense. If I feel like there's an injustice happening, I feel like it's actually my responsibility now to say something about it and not be a fear of like, I'm going to lose my job because of it, not be afraid that like people are not going to want to be around me because of it, because I've definitely quietened my voice for 41 years in order for me to be palatable to, we'll say, the white people around me. And so I grew up in a very white world. I've never grew up fully in the Black community. And so I've always had to, assimilate in a way that I was accepted by the community that I grew up in. And at this point now, though, I don't feel that is a best service to me or the world around me to be quiet anymore. And so I see that there's a lot of racism going on in the show. I'm happy that it's coming to light, and I feel it's my responsibility to talk about it if I'm seeing it. What do you think as some of Black family members?
Oh, sorry, you cut out. What'd you say?
I said, what do you think as somebody who has Black family members?
Oh, I mean, obviously it breaks my heart. Like, just in general, like we all have the same DNA. I literally do not understand how people can just look at the amount of melanin in someone's skin and make a judgment off of that. Like, it actually just blows my mind. And I mean, my family members, my cousin, most of her family's in Trinidad. And so they came here for her wedding and everything, but it's just crazy that, and my family, like, literally have Italian, Greek, like we have like a smorgasbord, like at every family event. So to me, I've always grown up like with a very diverse, like surrounding. So I guess I've just been fortunate in that sense. But yeah, I've also been quiet until 2016. I worked for a presidential campaign, and that it made me realize that just speaking about it is far more effective than not. And yeah, I've lost followers, I've lost friends for it, but change has to start somewhere. And
me not accepting it and you not accepting things that you see happen is the way that we can start making change happen. So us being vocal about J-Lub getting the edit that they deserve is help instilling the change. And I know some people be like, why does it always have to be about race? Well, it is. Like, if we
because everything is.
There is no chance they would be winning this show. There would be no chance. Now there's a chance.
I know. And it's just, you have to build on that momentum. You can't let it die. You have to keep going and going and going, because it's always going to be an uphill battle. And one, like, whether or not you agree with whoever the president is, voting for the Senate and Congress like matters, and the House of Representatives matters so much more, because those people represent your districts and they're the ones that can actually make a change. So whether or not you vote for the president, go out and vote for your district.
Hi, Jordan. Nice to meet you. Thanks for joining in on our conversation here. Jordan says, I've noticed they have cut J-Lub's conversation up so much. Yeah, I was kind of saying that as well. And I'm wondering if there's some sort of psychological thing that will make us believe that Johnny and Sally are a stronger couple, because it's not all choppy and cut up. They have the last date, so it's the last date that we're going to remember. Like, I feel like there's a lot more psychology going on behind the scenes as to how the narrative they want to play out. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I definitely noticed that their date wasn't just from beginning to end, which I would have preferred just to see the whole progression. They're stopping allowing me be able to fall into their relationship. You know what I mean? Because if it's just jumping around, it's just seeing little segments. I want to see the crescendo. I want to see the build up to the I love you. I want to see the swell, not just like peace, 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 peace.
Peace, peace, peace.
Peace, 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 peace.
So I'm trying to put the links and on the other YouTube and nothing's working. I've posted like the survey and the petition and they're not showing up.
Did you do it from YouTube? Why don't you try it through Facebook on my page?
But people, can they see it on YouTube though?
If you post on YouTube on Facebook, it'll show up here. Or post it in the private chat and I'll post it.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Love Live Nick says, also according to the one drop rule, Johnny is a black man. Sorry, absolutely, Nick. I am agreeing with you there, 100%. Hamida, nice to meet you. I believe I don't think we've met you before. Thanks for joining in on chat. Everything is about race, especially in America. Boom. Yes, it is. And, you know, having a black woman being in contention of winning this prize is very, very scary for Black America or for white America. It's just not something that's familiar. It's never happened in the entire universe of Love Island. There's never been a dark-skinned black woman that has won the prize. So it's good if it happens, but I don't know if we're ready for it yet.
I'm checking into my appointment. So if I randomly go, it's just because I need to talk to my doctor. I'll be back on.
The one drop rule is a farce. He's mixed. Yeah, I mean, I think the one drop rule is a thing. People definitely, you know, if they learn that your great grandfather was black, they'd say, "Oh, you're black." Like 100%. Jaquan's here. Hi, Jaquan.
But everyone comes from the continent Africa.
So people don't want to hear you say this, Brazil.
I don't care. It's the fucking truth. Get over it.
Okay, so here's the change.org, you guys. So this is what we were talking about that Brazil created in order for us to hopefully be able to make some change within CBS. You know, we both love Big Brother. We both obviously love Island. And we're hoping that, you know, representation will change on the show. The way that minorities are depicted on the show will change. The way that everybody is being depicted on the show will be the honest representation of who they are, as opposed to having editings to favor certain people for certain things that they say and do, and maybe not favor other people. So this is why we put the change.org. Please sign it. And then also, since you're signing stuff, if you want to help us out here, because our favorite show, Love Island, is coming to an end, we really want to continue the conversation with you guys. So if you can just fill out this little poll, it'll take you like 30 seconds, not even. It's a survey just with your favorite reality television shows, just so we can have an idea of what content you'd want to have us cover next, what you would like to join in on the conversation on. If we were to have a podcast about it, and yeah, just fill it out for us, please, and let us know where you stand.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you. Don says America really should have a multi-party system and we need to abolish the Electoral College. That's my TED Talk. I don't fully understand how the election works because it's a little bit confusing. I might actually talk to Brazil about this after, or maybe we can do like a podcast strictly about voting. Maybe
I could talk all day
within the next month and a half. And so, because I would like to understand better how voting works in America, because it's a different system than it is in Canada. So yes, I think the Electoral College, from what I know, if it was abolished, it would have a better representation on who the winner is, because it wouldn't be split. Like you wouldn't have this win, but then it doesn't win in this. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. But yes, I agree.
And the multi-party system is an absolute must.
Yeah, I don't really know what that means specifically.
Because we only have Democrats or Republicans that are represented in the election. But like, I think 75% of the people are actually independent.
What'd you say?
75% of Americans are actually registered as independent, but for whatever reason, we only focus on Democratic and Republican.
Semyon says, anyone know if the finale is live or pre-recorded? I'm actually not sure. We were kind of debating this earlier on today. This is my two thoughts. My one thought is that everything up until now would be recorded and then maybe do a live finale. Like usually they would do a live finale with a studio audience. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did at around, like they're all ready to talk at 9 or 6 p.m. PST. And then, as necessary, they will do the cuts in and outs with the relationships of like, you know, what's been going on in the villa. So,
okay, I'll be back.
We're not sure, but I'm hoping that it will be a little bit live. So Nick says, what are your thoughts on Moira and Calvin? I see them as friends and not work on the show. Actually, yeah, we could talk a little bit about Calvin's date. So you see Calvin running back and forth over the beds, and it was kind of cute. He looked like a little boy. But Moira then gets a text. And so I actually didn't write down what their hashtags were. I get so bored with them, unfortunately. But she dresses up in this gorgeous red dress. I thought she looked beautiful. I thought he looked handsome as well. I just got to feel that they looked like they were playing adult or playing like grown-ups. I didn't really feel like they were this mature couple that would be dressed this way to go out on a date. But I thought they looked great. Yeah, I said she looked beautiful, but so old looking. And the date was so old. I mean, I don't mind her age. I'm not saying that she looks old, but she just looks like more mature than, you know, her 25, 26 years should be. I felt that she could have been a little bit more playful in what both of them could have been playful in what they were wearing. And then also the date was quite fuddy-duddy. You know, they had the string quartet in the corner and they're sitting and they're trying oysters for the first time. And I found that really funny because like I actually really enjoy oysters. I don't know how long ago it was when I had them for the first time, but you know, he was willing to experience these oysters for the first time. And I believe that was the first moment that I actually liked Calvin, because Calvin was like, in the face that he made when he ate them, I thought was hilarious. And like, I thought it was really endearing, and you know, it was, he didn't enjoy that. I don't think he'll be doing that again. I think he would have spat it out if he could and he wasn't on TV. But it was an endearing moment for sure. So I see them as friends as well. I think that they're putting it on like a little show for the camera and for the, you know, the finale. I don't think that they have any longevity within their relationship, really. I think that, you know, once they're outside of the villa and once like lockdown and quarantine has eased up and they have maybe events for the Love Island season 1 and season 2, I think that he actually has so much interest from the former castmates, like both Elizabeth and Alex are like have super crushes on Calvin and think that he has so much swagger. And so I wouldn't be surprised if he, you know, has all these women that are not throwing themselves, but like are inviting themselves into some sort of partnership with Calvin, that, you know, he might not stay with Moira, because as much as he says that Moira is, you know, she never knows what he's going to get, I think that he's actually bored with Moira. He has to do so much. It's like to entertain her. I don't know. I just find her boring, and he's more interesting and likable than she is, in my opinion. Karen, what's Karen saying here? So Karen says, oh, so do you see a spark between Caleb and Justine? I literally still don't. Don't kill me, people, but I do think that they're going to win. I'm with you still, Karen. Like I felt a couple days ago, I said that before I felt that their relationship energy went from a 4 to about an 8, which I think was great because they were just showing them interact a little bit better. It was after their parents' visit and there was a lot of intimate moments that I really enjoyed. Not that I don't see a spark, but I still see that I feel like there's like a bit of a film still between the authenticity between their love connection. It's not frenetic. It's not like bam right there. So I'm willing to, you know, suspend any judgment fully. I mean, obviously I'm talking about them, and so I have a little bit of judgment in there, but to see what happens outside of the villa, to see whether or not that spark grows for me. But I'm still close to, more so with you than completely down. Like, they're the best, like they have the best spark ever. I still don't see the spark that I still see with Johnny and Sally. Unfortunately, I don't see it fully yet. But I think that they are willing to work on the relationship. I really love them together. I really want them to win. And I want them to do well in the future for both of them, because I think they're both amazing people. So I want them to be in love, but I don't feel the spark that I would hope to feel with my winning couple. But I love them. I think that they're great. Divine Me, I'm positive. So maybe you can go live this evening. Okay, actually maybe. Ooh. Okay, let me ask Brazil if she can do that. We'll see. M. Jordan says, imagine if Johnny and Sally wins, but he chooses not to split the money with Sally. We were hoping before that maybe they would get to the end and Sally would be like, I believe my family and I believe Justine and I'm taking this money. I mean, she never would do that, but we were hoping that that's what the whole game, her game plan was. But if he did that, man, people would be coming with them with the pitchforks. Like, I don't think he would be able to live that down. He would probably be the most hated man in America, or reality television America, because all the J-Lo stans would be coming for him, because if they won, like, he's the least liked person out of the entire cast. If he were to win and take the money, he would have everybody coming for him, and I don't think that he wants that. I mean, any publicity is good publicity, but like, oh, ouch, that would be bad. Simon says, Chloe, everything is about racism when America is literally built upon slavery. You can't get away from it however you look at it. Agreed, Simeon. Divine Me, Chantele, think it's clear now that you was something about the relationship between the romance between J-Lo, because Caleb is a shy person and very protective. Listen, like, I don't think it's because Caleb is shy. Like, I still didn't feel the love between them. Like, I believe that they love each other. I believe that they want to work on a relationship with each other. I don't think that just because you guys keep on telling me that they're so good together, that means that I'm going to see the spark that I don't see between them. I feel as though with another person, he might have that spark. And not to say that they won't work on their relationship, not to say they won't stay together for 10 years, but there's something for me when I look at a relationship when it's growing and in its beginning stages that is missing between them, no matter how much I want them to be the perfect match. Jaquan says, all the dates were unique in their own way, LOL. They reminded me of the Bachelor dates, but I like Johnny and Sally and J-Lo's date the most. With Johnny and Sally's date, though, like, I've come from a dance background, and I've studied ballet my whole life, and contemporary, and I just didn't feel that this was the contemporary dance duo that would be best for Johnny and Sally's date. Now, I don't know. I wasn't interested in them as a dance couple. I mean, I would have loved it if they had two people from like Alvin Ailey doing some dance, especially because they're not a white couple. Like, I would have loved to see a couple that was dancing that was not white, personally. But I didn't even think that type of dance was going to be something that Sally and Johnny were going to be enjoying. I don't know. I'm like, having like improv, contact, modern. Like, I don't know. It just wasn't, it's not a romantic type of dance, in my opinion. And I didn't feel as though the couple that was dancing were that romantic or that sexy, or I don't know. I didn't love them as a couple dancer. They're very talented, of course, but I think that they could have found two people that were better dancers. I know hundreds of dancers in the world that I think that I would have enjoyed their performances a little bit better. Nick says, do you think Sally will still want to be with Johnny after the show, after she watches it? Nick, I am praying that she doesn't, but I'm worried that he has already kind of gotten her a little bit mind fucked. And it's like him and her against the world. that kind of mentality, and where she starts to push away all of her family and Justine and anybody else that might tell her some truths. So I'm worried that that might be what happens. But I think because the Islanders were able to leave and they were all to give they were doing all these after interviews and like they're doing their own Instagram stories and stuff like that, where they're spilling all this tea, when normally I think that they would have been maybe quarantined still, or they wouldn't allow them to be able to talk right away. I don't remember what happened last season, but it just seems that they're allowed to talk a lot. And so if she gets caught up on all the information and they don't see each other for a little while, maybe she'll be able to get away from Johnny. But if they stay together and like, you know, get a place together right away and, you know, they start working as a couple right away, I think it's going to be very difficult for them to break up, even with the information. She might choose not to watch it or not to engage with anybody that says anything negative. Senaliso, hi, if I didn't say hi to you earlier on today. Senaliso says, even though the producers are promoting Sally and Johnny so that people can vote for them, if Jelly doesn't win, CBS will face a major backlash, 100%. They can't even manipulate the votes at this point. Yeah, I don't think that they will manipulate the votes, but as I've been saying, that I wouldn't be surprised if they do lose, because the J-Lo vote is kind of splitting with Calvin and Moira. Anne says, I feel like you feel more from Johnny and Sally because, one, we see more from them, and two, J-Lo are more private and Justine doesn't want to do too much on TV. Sure, that could be the whole thing as well. Like maybe there are private moments. There's passion and that we don't get to see. I can get behind that as well. From what I've witnessed though, I've seen the spark with Justine and with Johnny and Sally. I've seen it. I felt it. And it could be because they showed more of their relationship. Absolutely. And for both those reasons, like I feel like that's a big possibility. But it doesn't hide the fact that I don't see it as strongly as I see it between Johnny and Sally. Don Forever says the first look is out and I don't think the finale is live. Okay. So then we already know what has happened then. It's already decided. Very interested to see what the first look looks like. Tamika says Carrington had more of a hard-on for the car. Yeah, I know, than he has for Laurel. Just saying, I feel like Carrington is disconnected while Laurel gave her speech about falling for him. Yeah, totally agreed, Tamika. That's kind of one of the reasons why I think that Justine and Sally wanted to have Laken and Bennett have a shot to staying, because they knew that Carrington wasn't that into Laurel. I do think that if Carrington chose to open up a little bit and allowed Laurel to, you know, into his heart a little bit, I think that they could be a really cute couple. And I just don't think that he's ready to be in a committed love relationship that's kind of like mature. He's still really young. He's attractive. He's going to get a lot of girls sliding into his DMs after this show. As much as he likes Laurel and how pretty she is, I think that he is more so going to want to play the single life and with all this newfound fame. Praisel says, I know we all love J-Lo, but I still feel there is a disconnect in the relationship, but I can't put my finger on it. I'm with you, Praisel. Like with Jelly, regardless of everything, you still see the spark between them, unlike J-Lo. I'm with you, Praisel. Even though I'm saying J-Lo is at about an 8 out of 10, you know, for their relationship, I just don't see the spark still, like fully. It's kind of like, I put my finger on it either. Let's try to figure out what it is. People need to stop glorifying Johnny and Sally's struggle for love. Absolutely. I don't care, but I think that that's probably the narrative that they're trying to go for in order to feel as though what happened at Casa Amor was worth it. Nick says, do you think these couples are really falling in love after a month of knowing each other? I do feel that it is possible to have really strong feelings for somebody in that contained environment that's very like condensed. You know, I've worked in like film and television, or I've worked as a flight attendant, and you tend to spend long periods of time with people, and you just develop a really strong bond with people that you connect with, and you're doing a very unique situation, and so that also bonds you together. That nobody's really going to know what it was like living in the villa other than the people that were there. And so just like that scenario, you know, being focused on love, always talking about love. They probably wouldn't be talking this much about love and feelings and relationships outside the villa if they were just dating in the real world. They, you know, it would have been spread out, maybe once or twice a week. They'd meet up for like 6 months or whatever, and then the I love yous come out. And so I think because they're considering like every day is like a week in there, so if they've been in there for 6 weeks, that's like a good, you know, 6-7 month relationship. That's about the right time to say I love you. So I get it, but I get why some people might be like, it's too soon, but I can understand why the feelings are just so intensified. Tanika says, when a guy says you make me a better person so many times, it means he's not a good person. He just dismissed so much of what he said. He still has doubts when he chose Laurel. Yeah, he, you know, the girls knew that he doesn't really like Laurel that much. I think Caleb fought for him because he's an OG and he likes Carrington as a friend, and he's hoping that Laurel will help Carrington change him a little bit, but nope. Alyssa, are you coming to come for me? Just kidding. Hi, Alyssa. How are you? Brazil will be back. She just had a phone appointment that she needs to talk to. Alyssa says, oh my God, when Caleb said, I love you at the end, he straddled her on the bed in the background. That just tells me that they must have been more scenes like that that they cut out. For what? Sad face. Yeah, I definitely feel as though the edit has been doing a disservice to their relationship. I think it's gotten better since, you know, a lot of the backlash, like the missing hideaway or two that has happened. I really wish I had seen the first hideaway. I think that would help me like understand their relationship arc and maybe see different moments of, you know, sizzle. But happy we're seeing it now, at least. Tika says Carrington's gloves. I like the gloves. Brazil did not like the gloves. Whoa, where did I go here? Oh, my Lanta. Oh, my Lanta. Shoot. Dawn says, because even if Johnny hadn't messed up, this is still his character and it ate it. Yes, I agree. But it may not have come out in the same way. They would have just maybe been able to work on the relationship fully, just get stronger and stronger and stronger, have those conversations instead of having to overcome something. They would just have been focusing on themselves. And so I do think that, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because like everything dark comes out in the light, whatever that saying is. So I think that his true character would have found a way to come out somehow. So I agree with you there. But I think that the Casa Moore thing really, like from that happened and how he handled it, I think that lost him the money from there. But not sure what's going to happen 100%. MKMs, hi, nice to meet you. Facebook moms were never voting for J-Lub, they were voting for Jelly. Calvin and Moira are taking the votes away of Jelly, not J-Lub. Okay, if that's what you're saying, then I'm with you then. That's awesome. Simeon says, Tamika, my mom was dying at Carrington wearing those gloves. She was like, he's wearing those gloves in the heat. I know. But I mean, maybe that's good though, because if he has sweaty hands like I do, like to have a little bit of grip on the steering wheel instead of like dripping like sweaty palms on the steering wheel, that might be better for grip. Those gloves. Anna says, first look is out. Yes, when Brazil gets back, we'll get her to pull up the first look. Divine Me says, Chantele, to me, as to Sally, I get you because I love Sally, but in the end, I think we're all in for women empowerment. Yes, I want Sally to, I really hope Sally listens to Justine and her family when she gets outside of the villa and not allow herself to become in like a weird domestic, like subtle mental abuse kind of, I'm worried about that for her, just because his manipulation tactics, they've been working on her. And so I want her to be empowered, but she will have to learn these lessons on her own and make these choices for herself. So I hope that she does that, because I'm worried too that she will not choose to leave Johnny because she also might not want to feel like she was wrong or that she was stupid. And so she like might fight even harder for it. Hope not, but might. Chico says, even though they might have all those followers, not everyone probably watched the show. Fair. I mean, I can see this vote going anyway. I can see Johnny and Selly still winning it. I can see people coming together and really putting their money where their mouth is and voting for J-Lo to win, the deserving, 100% deserving winner. I can see that happening as well. And I can also see like people turning on Johnny and Selly and giving the votes to Moira and Calvin and getting them to win as well. So I can really see anybody winning at this point. But the couple that I want to see win 100% is Justine and Caleb. Simeon says, I get what you're saying, Chantele. Those voting for Moira and Calvin could have put J-Lo winning in jeopardy. People kept saying on Twitter, not to split the vote, so I hope most listened. Exactly. I mean, if you're saying that that it's taking the votes away from from Johnny and Selly, then they still then would have to get more votes, Justine and Caleb, because I think that Johnny and Selly had more of a support system like coming into the season than J-Lo. And so if they take away some of those votes, they need those votes back on Justine and Caleb just to really lock in that win. Praisel says Carrington has more chemistry with the car than he did with Laurel on the date. Absolutely. There was a lot more chemistry. He was excited. He was like, my favorite car. He was describing it like with such passion. I'm like, never seen so much passion out of you, Carrington. What do you mean? Kids, let's go. Hey, how are you? Haven't seen you yet today. Thanks for joining us. Not going to lie, I feel like Carrington secretly has a crush on Caleb. Oh, okay. He's always been touching him in these episodes. LOL. I'm going to have to look out for that. And, you know, Caleb did go to bat for Carrington. I haven't really seen that, but I might do a little bit of a rewatch or a look-see. I'll give you my thoughts tomorrow if I see any of that, at least in this episode that happens tonight. Chidi says, in my opinion, I think that Selly fell in love with Johnny too hard, too fast, and that's why I think she's so blind. Yeah, and she's in this weird circumstance where she's been convinced that Casa Amor was good for their relationship, for them to be something to overcome. She's been convinced of this. And so it's kind of like she feels as if she puts Casa Amor behind them, that means that their relationship is stronger for it, rather than seeing that Casa Amor was just actually showing bits of his character, and how he handled the situation was indicative of his character. And so I think she's just reading everything wrong because she's in it. So I'm really hoping that when she's out of it and away from him, that she will be able to see more clearly. Hope so. Laundry Day says Laura was more excited than Carrington. I sort of feel bad. Yeah, I mean, we knew that that's the case. At least she could pretend that his excitement was for the date, not just for the car. Nick says Carrington's t-shirt, or Carrington's shirt is Caleb's shirt. LOL, Caleb wore it when he returned from Casa Amor. Really? Okay, I'm going to ask then Brazil if, knowing that the shirt that Carrington was wearing is Caleb's, if she likes it less or more. Remind me, Nick, if I don't remember, remind me to say that to Brazil. Laundry also says, I love Selly and Justine's friendship. Absolutely. Hashtag Team Celine all the way. I think that they're awesome friends, and I really hope that Johnny doesn't come between them, because Justine speaking her truth about that situation, I think, could have put a wrench in there. And if there's more conversations about that outside of the house, it could be a problem if Selly wants to stay true and believe Johnny. Rila says America's obsession with only one specific type of love is why some people are still trying to insinuate that there's no spark between J-Lo. Everyone's relationship is not. Okay, I mean, it's what I look for in a relationship, but people look for different things. CJ says, I think that Caleb wanted to say I love you at least the last recoupling, but Justine ruined it for him. Oh, I don't remember that. Justine ruined it. Yeah, I mean, I'll have to go back and look at that. It's not symmetric. What's symmetric? Symmetry? Chelsea says, Justine did say before the date that she fell in love 3 times. Self-love, romantic love, and friendship love. Yes, I definitely love that. She didn't say fell in love. She said found love, actually. I thought it was fell in love at first, and then I did a rewatch, and she said, I found love 3 times. So self-love, love with Caleb, and love from a friend. From Selly. Jake One says, I think that if it was 2 hours, they could have showed more of everyone's date, but Johnny and Sally had their first date while others already had their date. Yes, I felt that the way that they overlapped it too, I know that they're trying to get it all in one day, but I felt that it was a little bit manipulative on the parts of the producers because, you know, you see Justine and Caleb come back from their date really excited, talking about how they said, I love you to each other. And, you know, Johnny kind of calls it out, like, you said it. And kind of like right after that moment, Sally gets a text and like interrupts that moment, which is, that was definitely producer induced. They planted the timing of that text. And so I would have liked to hear more of them talking to their best friends in the villa about the date that they just had. And, you know, I did want to see more of that, but they interrupted it with the text. So I thought that was a little bit shady on the producer's behalf. Mojo says Sally and Johnny got more time because of Caesar's Palace promotion. But yeah, I mean, they do that. What did you think about this most recent Caesar's Palace? They're talking about the love chapels or like, you know, getting married in Las Vegas. I found that the commercial was really dated. It was like from like 1985, and the couple didn't look like glamorous in my opinion. And like usually they have, you know, when they show Vegas, they show like super vibrant and flashy and, you know, people having such fun and cool times, but it just seems kind of like, you know, a nice couple, a little bit boring. Like it didn't seem very exciting. So I thought there was a weird choice of commercial, especially when we're doing these luxury super dates. I thought that they would have maybe stepped it up a notch with like the wow factor of potentially getting married in Las Vegas. M. Jordan says, do you watch Love Island UK? Obviously, yes, I do. Are you interested only in US reality television show? Never. I saw Love Island US or UK first. So I started watching season 3. I stumbled onto it. I was like, I'm a Brit, so I want to find a British television show. I always find them to be so good. I've already watched like X on the Beach UK, and I watched Celebrity Big Brother and regular Big Brother UK. So I was like already into how they represent people on their shows. So I was really into it. And so I looked it up once and I was like, what's this? A love dating show on an island with British people? I'm like, perfect, sign me up. And so I started watching it and I was like hooked from the first episode. And so then I went back at the same time season 3 was airing. I went back and did a binge watch of season 1 and 2. And then I caught up to real time. And then ever since I've been watching it in real time. So I didn't really enjoy season 1 of the US. I thought it was pretty boring. I didn't watch it as regularly as I've been watching this one because I didn't care for any of the couples or the relationships. I'm definitely way more invested in this one. But I love all UK reality shows. I love the banter. I love the accents. I love the vibe of their shows for sure. But I think that Love Island USA season 2 definitely is comparable to some of those seasons. It was pretty good. Jake One says, Jordan and I watch both UK and Australia. Like X Beach shows a little bit. Yeah. That Johnny was more easy. I know his point, and it just shows a little bit of to me, and shows that, you know, she may not be getting into the relationship that she's expecting with him, especially when she looks back and see how it's being received and how he's been treating her with like the whole glasses snatching up thing. Like the fact that he's done it more times than one, I think that's problematic. I think that, you know, his father's response to him was a little bit problematic. I'm just worried now. I could get over the Casa Amor. I can't get over how he's been treating her, putting all the blame, like woe is me, and like, look, I've said I'm sorry, we put this behind, and people are still coming for me. Like, I don't need to feel sorry for you, Johnny, like at all. Laundry says, I'm with Caleb. The helicopter ride scared me. I've been on one helicopter before, and it's pretty scary because what kind of happens is like you don't feel always supported in the air. And so sometimes you dip into little air pockets, and it just kind of feels like you don't really have full control of the helicopter, I found. So especially working as a flight attendant where you always feel safe and like you feel the floor, not the floor, but like the base of the plane, like you feel the weight in it. You can feel like you're supported. In a helicopter, like you'll feel supported, then you kind of like dip, and it is a little bit scary, but it's such a cool view. Like you get up and close and personal. I did it when a friend of mine's boyfriend has a helicopter, and so we were in Whistler in British Columbia, and he's like, hey, I'm picking up Melanie. Do you guys want to come with us? And I'll drive you guys back to, or I'll fly you guys over back to Vancouver. And we're just like, hell yeah. And so we got a ride back to Vancouver in a helicopter. It was pretty friggin' awesome. It was really cool, up and close and personal to the Rocky Mountains. But when we dip, sometimes I'm like, is this how it's all gonna end? Jordan says, Smith, what's X on the Beach? Oh, to Jaquan, is that a reality television show? If yes, what is it about? Okay, it's exactly what you think it is. It's so they have like these beautiful men and women that show up on the beach wearing their bikinis or whatnot, and they think that they're on a dating reality show to meet new people. And then one by one or two by two, depending, obviously, they're living in a nice, gorgeous house and they're partying. People go to the beach usually in threes, and one of their exes come out of the ocean. And so their exes come to live with them in the house. And so people's exes keep on coming in. So they have the drama of, being not in a relationship with them anymore, and them sometimes wanting to find somebody else. And like, it's pretty messy, but it's basically singles go to a beach house to live together, and everyone's exes keep on showing up, and they have no idea which ex is going to be showing up when and how that's going to impact the house. And they force them to go on like a little date with their ex when they first get there too. It can be awkward. Tamika says, when they say a conversation can change everything, they were joking when Caleb confessed about how his original choice was Rachel. Interesting. I thought that was really interesting too, Tamika. And oh my God, he said, I love you. Also, I love how their outfits match. Yes, their outfits looked really cute together. I love their outfit. I did have a little bit of like when he says that he was planning on picking Rachel, when he said like, I'm not going to lie, that's the way that he was heading. My heart did sink in that moment, but I'm happy that he kind of turned it around. He turned it around. He brought back an I love you. I thought that was it scared me a little bit how I was hoping that she would take it well, but with him coming back with an I love you, I thought was a decent response. And she's back in a new location.
I'm in my friend's kid's room, so.
Okay, well, I mean, we're only like almost 2 hours in, so we should be done soon.
Sure.
Later. So we I don't even know what we did, but we talked a little bit about how Caleb said Rachel, he was planning on choosing Rachel first. What do you think about that?
Oh, not surprising. Because Rachel was like very openly into him. So, but I found that conversation very interesting actually. And I think maybe he didn't even like think about Justine because he had another like gorgeous black girl that was into him too. So when Justine, and he may have like, I don't know, thought Justine was obviously beautiful, but didn't think it was even worth pursuing because she probably seemed a bit closed off because she was going through it when she was with Trey. Like she was like, they seemed to be a little lost and didn't know what to do at that point. So I was happy that one conversation, that's all it takes. Like shoot your shot, right? Because look what happened.
I like that Sally pointed that out too. Like, oh my God, if you hadn't made that bold move and, got partnered up with Caleb, like they wouldn't have had their friendship either. So, I mean, in the end, I think that move was for all of their highest and best goods, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really, I didn't know that. So, but I like that he was being truthful about it. I'm sure Rachel, that will make Rachel feel a little bit better at least.
Mm-hmm. Jaquan says it's when 6 people. Oh, okay. So Jaquan is just explaining X on the Beach. You haven't watched it, or you have?
I have not.
So I did give. He might give a better explanation. So it's when 6 people start off in the house as singles, and their exes would come in one at a time or multiple. So you get the chance to eliminate them one time. One girl, he had like 3 or 4 exes. It's true at the same time. Yes, I found like the X on the Beach UK ones were a lot more like spicy. I think I told you from the challenge. So Kaylee, Melissa were both on X on the Beach with Joss, I think it was, and Ashley. I think that. Anyways, it gets really messy over there because all these reality stars start crossing the different shows, and they're all exes, and everybody's. Some people, one guy is more than one person's ex, so it can get kind of messy over there. In a way that I like.
Yeah.
I like
That's
British
or challenge.
UK messy. I like it better than USA messy, in my opinion.
Because it's a shame. It's a shameless messy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just different in the States.
Don't give up.
Tamika says wearing Calvin's date was so cute. Okay, I see them at least best friends. Yes, they danced. They had a kiss. Their first dance was at it was like a first dance at their wedding. I love how awkward the oyster feeding was with Calvin. Yes, that moment was so awkward.
I needed a gif of his facial reactions, like it all back to back to back.
I think that's what I'm going to make the gift for this episode. Aphrodisiac? Question mark?
No, don't make it all about Calvin.
What?
Just kidding.
I didn't hear what you said, though.
Listen, don't make it all about Calvin. Ew.
Well, it's already happened, though. No matter what, the votes are already in. So
True.
Really says, yes, Tamika, this is the reason why I feel that Mackenzie wasn't crazy, because the date with Lord and Connor definitely had the potential to affect their relationship. It's true. Yeah, I mean, but go ahead.
I was definitely more sympathetic to Mackenzie after she left. Well, I mean, I was back and forth while she was in the villa, but after she left, absolutely, because like you said, they must have some great PR on the outside, because she just, the way she was speaking, like everything that she was able to justify every one of her actions in the villa, to where I was like, okay, I see you, girl. Like, I don't think you're crazy. But even when she was in the house, I felt for her in that. I mean, not how she read and how crazy she got, but yeah, I still felt for her. I don't think she's crazy. She's just controlling.
Well, I just think that she's a little bit desperate to be in a committed relationship, that she's taking a lot of control of the relationship and not really allowing, in my opinion, Connor to be an active part or participant in the relationship. It's kind of like she's just telling him how he needs to be. And so I just don't think it's real partnership. But I think he allows her to do that. And so.
No, I agree.
What they want.
I don't think Connor's the right. I don't think Connor's the right one for her for that reason.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Well, I still don't know if he's sure about his sexuality, or if, like, I don't know. I think that there's still something that we don't know about him that's kind of that he's hiding.
Can you get me
it's none of my business really of like his sexual preference, whatever. Yeah. But like, I do feel those.
And the charger.
I do feel as though
I'm switching back to the laptop.
Okay.
I can't hear. You're like cutting out.
It's on Netflix. You can find it on mtv.com or mtv.ca if you're in Canada. I'm not sure where you are, but you can find it for sure if you have CBS All Access. I think that they'll have it on there, maybe, because CBS and Viacom, they merged, and so you might be able to find the show on CBS All Access as well. I know that they put many seasons of The Challenge up there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did X on the Beach as well. But before that, I still think I can find it on mtv.com or mtv.ca. But there's been like at least 4 seasons, I think, of X on the Beach in the US. And I think 6 or 8, I think 8 in the UK. Tamika says, I think about the moment when Calvin bit Moira's earlobe. Oh boy, he's so fine, Tamika. This is insane here. I mean, I think that he's an attractive human being, but he's not fine. I don't think. Nick says, Chantele, same here. I don't know what I said, but thank you for agreeing with me. Rila says, the George Floyd uprising definitely changed my confidence in speaking up. Yes, and I do do it at any chance I feel it necessary. Absolutely. I think that having this conversation, and a lot of people are saying, like, we don't need to talk about this, and like, why is it always about this? And I get that it's different and it's uncomfortable, and people that maybe have been benefiting from, you know, privilege of any sort may not want to be discussing what they have never really had to take a look at in themselves and how they've interacted in the world. So I get that it's uncomfortable, but I think it's really important for anything to change, to people to at least recognize what they have and what other people are not been able to experience. And I was very, very proud of CBS for keeping in the edit Caleb talking about the fact that Black people in general don't always really get to experience privilege. So I think that, you know, that was a really, really great for CBS to include. And I think that it's a step in the right direction with having a lot more diversity within, you know, and having people of color really be able to, you know, experience things differently and have a different narrative on these television shows. So I think we're going in the right direction. And I think with all of us having our voices, so I put it in the chat already before, but I will put it in again. So please sign our change.org here. Once we get to 100, at least we're going to be notifying CBS and Viacom about our petition to hopefully get more accurate representation on CBS TV shows. That would be bomb.
You put it in the private chat, homie.
Oh, I did?
Sorry. I was like, what is she trying to tell me in secret?
So Chelsea says,
I'm settled. Sorry.
I mean, we're going to be done, but it's good. Chelsea says, yeah, the order of the edit does seem strategic. Yes, I was saying before, Brazil, that, you know, the order of the dates, you said that, you know, because they wanted to give the helicopter date to Justine and Caleb. Sure. But, you know, when Caleb and Justine came back and they were talking to them about their date, that date got interrupted by Sully getting a text. You know, they didn't get to fully, in my opinion, say their whole date and really revel in it and talk to their best friends about the date that they have. It seemed very quick, and all of a sudden they didn't want that to be the storyline anymore. It wanted to be all about Sully and Johnny. So I did felt that that might have been a little bit calculated.
Yeah, I mean, and just even on The Bachelor, Bachelorette, or any of these shows, like, you always remember the last date the most. But for this situation, I don't remember their date at all.
I mean, I was choosing not to really pay attention.
Exactly. To it. Yeah.
Wait, did I write anything? You missed it before, but like, I didn't like the couple that they chose as the dancer. Like I said, like, I know 100 more dynamic dancers that they could have had for this date. I would have loved it to be a dancers maybe from Alvin Ailey and have like maybe, you know, like minorities or people of color be the dancers for this date or something. Like, I just didn't feel, I wasn't even connected to them as dancers. Yes, they were good, but like, I'm not the biggest fan of typical modern dance with, like, you know, baggy pants and a bodysuit, bare feet and flexed feet. Like, it's just like not my vibe of dance. I've taken it, I've studied it for 20 years. I understand it, but like, it's not my favorite style necessarily. But I would have liked to see maybe an ethnic couple doing the dance, or like a mixed couple, like whatever. I would have preferred to have a little more diversity in the couple that was dancing.
They're probably Moira's parents.
Probably they met on the stage. Yeah, like, what was with everybody slow dancing? They must have told them to do that, because the only couple that didn't do it, I think, was Carrington and Laurel. They didn't slow dance, did they?
No.
But you saw Calvin and Moira, they slow danced.
Mm-hmm.
Sully and Johnny slow danced, and Caleb and Justine slow danced.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they must have told me, can you just slow dance here for us so we can have this moment, please?
But Carrington doesn't like Laurel, so that makes sense.
That's true. That's true. I wrote down for Johnny and Sally though, so they get their call, they have their date, and I wrote down like, I don't want to hear him confess his love. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Nope. It's just ever since he came back from Casa Amor and gave her that speech that was completely phony and false, every time he's talked after that, I just assume is phony and false as well. So
definitely.
Sorry about it.
Rila says, yes, we all come from Africa. Race is a social construct, nothing to do with biology. 100%.
Hate to burst your bubble, y'all. Everyone's got a little African in them.
Absolutely. Phil! Hi, Phil!
How are you? Hi, Phil.
Meet Phil. I don't know if Phil's still online right now, but he says Reality Realnesss keeps growing and growing. Survey completed in 2 minutes. Yes. I mean, it should take you less than 2 minutes, I would think, unless you put a lot.
He probably had to click all of them.
But so just so you know, so Phil and I are going to be doing the Amazing Race together. So I believe next week we'll get together. We're going to do a draft pick and maybe talk about just the Amazing Race in general and the different couples. We'll pick our teams. And so just meet Phil, everybody. So Phil is a friend of mine. He does online reality games. That's how I met him. I played his version of Survivor online. And obviously we're all super fans of reality television show. And so, you know, he became part of my Facebook group for Reality Realnesss. And he's talked a few times when we've spoken about Big Brother. And so he was really excited to talk then. And then he was like, please, can we do Amazing Race? And I said, absolutely. So hopefully, because he's a game master, and so we might have little games and interactive things that we might do with our chat room or our audience when we go live with the Amazing Race. So meet Phil, everybody.
Hey, Team Phil.
Phil, my co-host, and Phil, the host of the show. Phil Coogan.
Yes.
And they did make Calvin and Moira look like a married couple versus the other couples. Yeah, I was saying that like Moira looked, not that she looks old, but they looked so mature, you know, like they didn't look like fun and young and hip. Like they didn't look like they were in their 20s going out on a date. They looked like they were in their 40s. Like the kids, we got a babysitter for the kids. You know what I mean? This looks a little bit dated. I love that Moira doesn't know the difference between a harp and a cello. I thought that was like, what's happening with education here? But I guess I could be biased also because I went to an art school, so I played multiple instruments. But
and music tends to be the first
thing cut.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. I don't even know that difference, to be honest with you.
Oh, really? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend anybody.
No, I'm not offended because we just really are not taught that in public school, at least. Because I've never even taken a music class in ever, actually. In public school, we didn't even have a music program. Nala, no. Oh my God.
Wow.
We didn't have a music program. I took dance instead of music in college, like as the elective. If they were like in the same category. But yeah, it's pretty common in America to never have taken a music class, which is super crazy, actually.
That's insane to me.
I'm not offended at all because I'm like, fuck, I've literally never been taught that. I was in choir, but that we didn't have. Actually, that was middle school. I think there was a music program. I've just never taken it, but I was in choir instead.
So for me, like I auditioned for the school when I was 8. And so then you go to the school from you're 9. And
didn't you go to like the Canadian Juilliard?
Basically, but like it's like fame for kids. And so from your 4th grade, you would go to the school and it's part of your curriculum. So choir was part of the curriculum. Band or string, you chose either band or strings in grade 6. That was part of the curriculum. But there was always a large orchestra choir, full orchestra choir, like that you had to sing with. Music theory classes was part of the curriculum, as well as like drama, mime, dance. You choose your major in grade 5. and that just kind of determines what your focus on is in the school, but you still took drama class or dance classes, even if you weren't a drama or a dance major. You just didn't have like the extra studying of the other art forms. But like,
you know, I think I'm thinking now that you're saying that, because we did have drama and we had theater at high school, but I think the only way for you to get into music was if you were in the band. I could be wrong. I don't know if anyone else in here went to an American public school, but yeah. So it's like, because we did have theater, and our theater at my high school is actually really good. But like everyone went, it was like cool to go to the shows because they were like so good. But yeah, it's crazy. Like I've seen like on TV of like people sitting around in a classroom and like learning about music, and I'm like, huh, when, where, how?
I mean, it's so like my brother was a music major as well. I'll tell you guys a cute story, then we'll get back to Love Island. And so because I'm going to this new school, I really want to learn piano. And so my mom's like, well, I don't want to buy you a piano and then you don't like playing the piano. So she's like, I'm going to buy you an accordion. And so you're going to take accordion lessons so you can see whether or not you like the keyboard part of the accordion. And if you enjoy your lessons and you still feel as though you want to learn how to play the piano, I'll figure out how to buy you a piano.
I think those are so different though.
No, but you still have the keyboard, right? So
yeah, I guess just with one hand, right? Is it with one hand?
Yeah, the right hand is the keyboard and the left hand is the chords. So it is actually similar in the sense like you learn the chord structure and you learn how to match with your left hand, your right hand. Like if I'm playing in A minor, like you know what. Anyways, it does correlate.
Oh, so it's like the same chords.
But you know, I was like this 8-year-old lugging around this like 100-pound accordion to like my lessons. Like it was way more than me. And so I liked the accordion. Like I could be like, like I could play some songs, to be honest.
Please bring your accordion and show me.
I don't have it anymore.
Why?
But then I got to take piano lessons. And so I played piano for many years. But
my best friend from college, she just grew up playing the piano, and anytime like in any movie or whatever she hears a song and she'll like type it in her phone and she'll print out the music and just bust it out, and it's so cool because I'll be like, Sam, play this song or play this song. Like she plays all the John Legend songs. She just does, like, it's so cool that she could just like, okay, print out the music and just
I mean, I don't like, I know obviously like how to play regular chords or like, you know, scales and stuff, but I can't, I'd have to practice reading music again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny because she's not even passionate about it. She just likes to show it off. She's like, yeah, like, look what I can do. It's like a party trick for her.
It's definitely a muscle thing. She must have done a lot of.
She did. Yeah, like up until she graduated high school. And then we had a piano in my sorority house, and so it was literally when people come over.
Hold on, Laundry says, do you think the only reason who said I love you was because Caleb said it? Do you think Justine?
No.
No, I think that she wanted to say it, and I think that she definitely wanted to say it back to him because he said it in that moment. Because like we know the kiss of death is like one person saying I love you and the other person doesn't. That's the end of a relationship, generally speaking.
And it's like, for me, I would probably take a second too, because I'm sure in her head she's screaming like, I love you too. But it's like, act cool. Think about your words. Like, cause you know, they love like the little speech. They both like give each other a little speech. Like they love that part of it. So she probably had to like slow down and think about what she was going to say, but I think she meant it for sure.
So Ty, if I haven't said hi to you yet, Ty, hi. Thanks for being here. I know we're getting long again. We have these long, do you know what though? We're not going to have any Love Island content. So let's just suck it up and like just talk ad nauseum about this show. Okay. Sorry that it's so long, guys, but like we got a lot to talk about and we have tons of comments still to get to. So we pretty much finished the episode. Obviously we didn't care about their date. They came back and they talked about to Moira or whatnot. Yeah, we talked about everything from the episode. So we can just continue focusing on your questions and comments. So Ty says, one thing I did notice about yesterday's episode is in the editing, the spark thing has always been in the back of my head. With that being said, I noticed that they cut off J-Love's review of their date. Exactly. Yeah. With that text. So I wanted to see more of them talking and gushing about their date, and then they cut it off. And so it's annoying. Vine coming for me?
Is what coming for you?
Is it divine? Is she coming for me?
Oh.
J-Lo like all this cameras, all the cameras. Yeah, probably not. It's awkward.
I don't blame him.
Caleb, in the moment, seemed smitten when he revealed to the group that he said, "I love you," and was laying on her and stuff. Literally asking, as they were talking, they were cut off by a text for Jelly.
It's possible too, you guys. I think as much as I think people would be happy for them, mentally they're like, we're done. Like, there's no chance any of us are gonna win this if they just said "I love you" on their date after a fucking helicopter ride. So I don't know if we'd be happy if they didn't cut it off either. I think we would kind of see them kind of be like, you know what I mean? I think people would be coming for everyone else, like not being as excited as they would want them to be. You know what I mean? I feel like no matter what, we'd be complaining about this scene. Does that make sense?
I think that they were excited for them. I think even Johnny, like, he's like, "You said it, didn't you? You said it." But I also think that the timing of the text, because like even Selly says it, like, I want to be happy for you, but I want to be happy for me too. You know what I mean? So it did take away from just that moment. They could have just left it like a minute longer just to like, you know, finish it out. But it's like they just cut in as soon as it's getting to the good stuff. I want to hear more about their date.
I agree.
Divine Me says, thanks to Ty, Caleb is very shy and he doesn't like the show. He's real. That's why. Okay. I mean, we don't really know what Caleb is like in other relationships. And so we only really know him in the context of this show. So it's really hard to say whether or not he's just shy or if he doesn't like the cameras. Who knows? QWERTY says, I am new here and understand you are reasoning about Caleb with the spark. However, Johnny had a spark with Mercedes. Does that mean his spark with Selly wasn't authentic? I think that he was sexually attracted to Mercedes. I think that if he had a spark with her, he would have brought her back to the villa.
Were you guys talking about the spark when I was gone?
A little bit.
Damn it. Just kidding. I mean, to me, the way I look at a spark is you can have a spark with a lot of people. I don't think a spark is a defining quality in a like you need it in a relationship, obviously, but like you can have a spark with a lot of people. I don't think it's like a rare thing to have. So I think he could have had the spark with Mercedes also, but like Selly more and also had a spark with her.
Yeah, I can agree with that as well. For me, my point always, and I say it pretty much every time we recap, is that monogamy is a choice. And so acting on these urges or sparks is a choice. In each moment, you choose whether or not you want to respect the relationship that you're cultivating with somebody else. And that, I think, is what the biggest point is here. So whether we call what he had with Mercedes was a spark or not, I don't know if I saw the spark because I only saw sexual kind of energy between them. With Selly, I saw like a friendship and a vibe and a spark, and like they joked around and they laughed together. So I saw more like...
You did see a spark with him and Mercedes?
Not the same type of spark that I'm talking about. Like I see only a sexual energy spark. I don't see them being a long-lasting couple spark.
Okay. Okay. No, I need you to give me another example of a spark. So that way I know what
feel that they are connected in a relationship and that they are like soulmates.
Okay, so Bachelor universe, who has a spark?
Jordan and JoJo had a spark.
Okay. Okay.
It's just like undeniable. You're like, you know that they're into each other.
And you knew they were going to pick each other.
From the second I saw them, like, yep, I'm in. They're in it together. Even with
Sean and Caitlin.
I felt that she had a big spark with Nick.
Oh man. Yeah, but they weren't going to last though.
You know, but like I saw the spark. I think that they might have lasted if things were in a different scenario, because if you know the backstory of Nick and Chris and Caitlin, they had been talking like email and text and stuff like that before she went on the show. And so if that might have played out without her becoming the Bachelorette, maybe things would have ended up differently. But I think I did see she did vibe, like she did have a spark with Sean as well.
Yeah. Okay, I can see those. I can see those too.
I actually see on what's his name? What's the blonde kid's name that I'm always comparing him to? Colton. I felt that he was really into Cassie. I could see that. I didn't think it was reciprocated, but I could feel that he had a lot of energy going towards her. And it's interesting now that he's become a little bit obsessed with her, which is interesting. But yeah, those are it's like when it's undeniable, when I'm just like, okay, like they're just into each other. I can tell. And so with Mercedes and Johnny, maybe if it wasn't Casa more and she wasn't just coming onto him that strongly, and I could see this energy between them, it was just too confusing with her just like being all over him, and it was just being all about sexual energy. So I couldn't really see if they had a spark outside of that, like if they had the friendship spark and like the enjoying being around each other spark, other than just sexual energy. I'm not sure.
Gotcha.
I didn't see them just hang out. You know?
Uh-huh.
They're always
Yeah, they weren't
just making out. Caleb, we actually do have these dark moments now, but the producers have been cutting them off. I mean, they make Johnny come off as a cool guy, but literally all of the ex-Islanders have been saying otherwise. Yeah, I know. I mean, like, I feel like I could definitely be missing the spark because of how the producers have been editing it, but I'm enjoying their relationship and I want the best for them.
I need to watch Kirsten's interview.
Yeah, we'll watch this for sure. Ty says, LOL, I know I typed a lot, but my conclusion is that I think the producers have really been editing people's character and moments more so than we think as an audience. Absolutely. We know this for sure because we watch Big Brother and we can see from the live feeds as to what the edited show is like night and day, completely two different narratives. And it's all dependent on what the producers want. And so that's why our change.org is important, is because we want to hopefully allow them to recognize that they're being very biased in the narratives that they're creating for their contestants.
Absolutely.
Gloria. Hi, Gloria. Nice to meet you. Johnny is super manipulative. Sally might get a reality check when they leave Villa. We're really crossing our fingers and hoping so, but I'm hoping that she's not too proud and just stays with him because she wants to be defiant, you know? I'm hoping not. Demine P said Kirsten is on After the Island. Okay, we'll watch that for sure. For Friday, we'll do like some of the dumped Islanders interviews and stuff like that. We'll talk about that and maybe talk about the winning couples if there's any additional stuff that's happening with them outside of the villa. Chelsea says, oh my God, I love watching yesterday's live. Your guys' opinion were so accurate. Thank you, Chelsea. I know that me and Brazil sometimes differ, but we kind of like try to make each other understand our perspectives. And so I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I know what we talked for a long time, but we're running out of, Love Island soon. And so we're just going to go for it and get through these questions. Another Chelsea says, you guys are right, found love 3 times. Yes. But regardless, she very lucky for her to be able to find love 3 times in the villa. I think that's really beautiful. And I think that's a magical moment. Johnny says, or Gloria says, Johnny's literally victimizing himself with regards to an issue he created. Absolutely. That's what's infuriating to me. It's that like, hey, if you didn't act outside of your relationship and then decide that you want to come back and then not tell the full truth and then be kind of like a defensive asshole about it, people wouldn't be coming for you. So like, don't be the victim just because you decided that it's time for everybody to be over Casa more. Like,
Johnny's whole MO is to play the victim.
Skylar says, Team Jayla for the win. Hi, Skylar. Nice to see you again. I'm hoping that they win, man. That would be really, really amazing for America.
Remember, Chantele, we have to put it out there. They're gonna win.
Sorry?
We have to put it out there that they're gonna win.
All right. Well, I mean, it's already done, so.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Simeon said, I was so confused by the outdated commercial. I know, I was talking about the Love Island or the Caesar's Palace wedding couple commercial. It was like an older couple that seemed kind of boring, and why wasn't it like somebody young and fun demographic, I would assume, of this show?
It's Moira's grandparents.
Right? Yeah, it's probably Moira's family, for sure. Because like, I don't feel as though the main demographic is like 45. It looked like a second marriage.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
okay, like the commercial and the singing, haha, I didn't have a clue what the hell was going on, haha. It was so funny and odd. Yeah, it was just not representing the demographic of the audience, I don't think. Chelsea also says, I don't know if anyone mentioned this, but I loved Moira and Calvin's date, and I love J-Lo's date. Insert hard eyes. I mean, I thought Moira and Calvin's date was cute. I thought how he was really like his face with the oyster was classic.
I've never seen so many facial expressions in 1 10-second span. Like, oh.
Devivi says to Tamika, I think that Caleb is faithful and loyal. Remember, he was in a couple with Rachel, but he also said he missed the connection now and then.
Missed the connection with Rachel? Why do you say that?
I think Caleb was faithful and loyal. Remember, he was in a couple, but he missed the connection. I guess like maybe with Justine, like he hadn't talked to her yet, and so he was going to be staying with Rachel at that point, and then Justine talked to him, and then all of a sudden he realized that there was a potential between them. Oh shoot, okay, there we go. It's me. Chelsea says, yes, agreed. Sally and Johnny's date was kind of weird. And then after they danced, Sally screamed, yay. I mean, the only part I liked about their date was when Sally was throwing the roses at the dancers.
Like it's dollar bills.
Darlene. Hi, Darlene. Nice to meet you. Darlene says, clips of J-Love have surfaced, showing
probably Caleb
saying he's all in. Okay, cool.
Yay!
I'll be looking for all the dirt and tea. M. Jordan says, Love Island USA 1 was so bad and boring. It was so boring. I thought it was like maybe a 2 out of 10, and this one is probably about an 8+ out of 10. Got slightly better after Casa Amor, though. But they didn't have a Casa Amor. Well, they had like a weird Casa Amor thing when they had like 5 guys like coming.
And they forced people to stay like in the apartment or like they like forced them to stay in there for 24 hours.
It was so bizarre, actually. I don't fully remember it, but I just remember it's like, this isn't right. The Tomorrow Night was not close to fascinating at all. This season is way better. I'd be looking forward to season 3. Me too, and I'm hoping that they'll do it sooner than later, just because it seems like they could produce one of these quite quickly because it's being taped and edited as you go. So, I mean, let's cross our fingers that we get a Love Island at the end of October or November or something. Like that could be kind of cool.
I hope.
I know, we can pray. But also, if anybody knows or hears about Love Island Nigeria or Love Island Spain that's supposed to be happening, or when any of the dates are supposed to be, or if they're filming already, we would love any more information that you can give us about that, because
absolutely,
we're 100% covering it, and you guys are hanging out with us, and we can complain and yell at each other and have differences of opinion about another show. Nick says, first looks out pre-taped. Okay. Can you find that, Brazil?
Yeah, of course.
Jaquan says, Nick, they always 2 or 3 days ahead of us because they have to edit things and put out trailers. Yes, but we're curious as to whether or not the Islanders were staying in the house up until that time. In the UK, the finale is actually live. Well, at least they have a live audience, and then they're usually cutting in and out clips of the show, and then they introduce the 4th couple, and then they show like their love story, and then the 3rd and 4th, and then they do like the final 2. So if they do the final 2 taped, I mean, okay. All right. Realist says, only thing I can predict is that prom scenes and pre-recorded, and then they'll put outfits back on for the live results. That's a bit of a stretch, though. Yeah, I'm really not sure how they're going to do it. Maybe they're not in the bill at all anymore. Maybe they're already back at their hotel room, and maybe they're going to watch it themselves on the TV. Like maybe they already did the whole thing last night in real time, and then they're showing it tonight.
I feel like they'll have them like still all there though, standing there at least.
So you think that at least the reveal will be live?
Yeah. Are you ready for the first look?
Okay.
It's the final freaking day, you guys. The final day. got a text! Islanders, tonight you will attend the Love Island finale. Hashtag Summer of Love. Hashtag Cheers to the future.
We're all gonna look like queens tonight. We're going shopping. Oh my god! No way! I'm so
Ooh, no. Boys! Time to get suited and booted.
Thank you! Guys, I feel like tonight we're almost like writing our vows.
I think it's a good sign that we're all nervous because that means obviously we care. So you go for tears, Carrington? Tears of joy. I think of all of the things I put together, this is the best attempt at making her feel special.
So maybe it is pre-recorded.
Yes,
unless that was their. Wait, are they revealing them in the prom out? Like, are they? Is that the reveal right there?
I don't know, man. I mean, usually they do like in the day before like the actual night ceremony, them talking to each other about their love and stuff like that in like kind of a wedding type thing during the day, and then they have like the live results show. That's what they did in the UK, but I don't remember how they did it last season.
I think the last portion of it then will be live when they do the reveal.
I don't know, because like then they would basically be waiting from when they recorded it, like have to put on their same outfit the next day. So it would have needed nighttime.
I think they'll be in different outfits tonight, maybe.
Oh, so you think that this is just a different scene?
I think it's specifically just for like them to like reveal, and then I think like once that scene's over, they'll probably cut to the live reel, maybe.
I don't think there's going to be a live portion anymore, just because we see that part at night.
True.
I wonder though if Sally coming out, it seems like first, if that means she's fourth place. Ooh, that would be.
Oh, you're saying they just come one? You're thinking they're just gonna come out one at a time? Because all the boys were up there alone.
It does like happens. They come out one at a time. They confess their love to each other. I just don't know how they're doing it because it's different than they do it in the UK. I don't know. Yeah. Realist says the only thing I can. Oh, just kidding. She just says, what recommendations do you have in regards to reality TV shows that you think is good? Watch it and follow. I know we're trying to figure out the same thing. So we do have, if you want to fill out CJ, we have, oh wait, that's a change.org. I don't want that one. A survey that we're asking you guys just to let us know what you guys are interested in. And then we will be covering it after this. We're definitely going to do The Amazing Race, as I said before, and The Bachelorette, which is coming up. Other than that, though, we want some more ideas. So let us know. Definitely those shows we'll be covering. If Love Island Nigeria and or Spain come out within the next little bit, we'll be doing that as well. And we're going to start maybe going down the rabbit hole of 90 Day Fiancé. So tell me what your thoughts are about that as well. Gloria says if there is a reunion episode that like there normally is, there's going to be a lot of drama. Yeah. I mean, I'm here for that reunion show.
Imagine Johnny coming out and seeing every single person that came out was talking shit about him.
I know, bad. Speaking of Big Brother, which Love Islander do you think would do well on Big Brother? So I was saying before that when I looked up Jeremiah, that he had casting. So casting is Robin Cash. She does it for Big Brother US and Canada. And so she followed him. So I'm wondering if some of these contestants for Love Island came through the Big Brother audition pool, just because they didn't have the opportunity to have auditions for the show specifically. So we both think that Jeremiah would be pretty great on it.
I think Carrington would be a good villain. I think he'd be a comp beast and not really give a F, and would probably, be willing to make I think Carrington actually would be pretty fun to watch on Big Brother. He'd definitely be in like probably 2 or 3 showmances. Johnny
or one, and like actually stick to it, like ride or die styles.
Yeah. I think Sally and Justine would both be good. I mean, I think they just have like the social game for sure. Casting cast for Love Island as well.
I think Sally is also really competitive, and so I think that she would probably be able to win some competitions, and that's important, especially in the beginning, to steering how the game is going to go.
Cast for Love Island?
Well, she's part of CBS bubble, right? So I think that they might mix with their casting database.
Okay.
Just because
someone commented that, that's why I was like, what?
Oh, really? Okay. So yeah, well, if you think about it, like even what's his name, David from Big Brother has been saying like, oh, he really wants to get on Love Island. It's because they're all part of the same umbrella. They're casting people all know each other. They might not work on the same show, but maybe other people have worked on other shows at other times. And right now they're working on Love Island, but before they were working on Big Brother or whatnot. And so I think that changes from time to time. Divine says, sorry for all the misspellings, but I was in a meeting. It's okay, Divine. It's just, when you're reading it, it's just kind of, we're just like, what is she trying to say here? But it's all good. No worries. Yes, it's Rachel. We got you. We figured it out. Chelsea says, yes, he said the connection with Rachel wasn't really there.
Oh, that makes sense. I thought she meant he missed the connection with Rachel, not he missed the connection with Rachel.
Right. Okay, that wasn't happening, but he was willing to kind of stay with it because he didn't have another option at that point. To Chelsea, thanks, but I'm on the road now. You're gonna pull over, Divine? Should I say something controversial?
Ooh.
It means I'm leaving now. Somebody new, what Roar will say, evening all, can confirm UK final is a mix of live and pre-recorded. Absolutely. So that's kind of what I was hoping it would be, but I can't tell if that's what they're going to do here with these guys. If that's the case, then they would have to just like put on their same outfits the next night, which is possible. If they do have hair and makeup doing it for them, they can replicate what they look like. If they're doing their own hair and makeup, then it might be more difficult for them. M. Jordan says, have you watched Love Island France before? Don't stop. I love to watch it, but it's in French. I speak French. Girl! I'm excited here. I'm definitely going to take a look at that. Can you tell me maybe where, M. Jordan, where I can maybe find those links? I will watch maybe I won't cover it, but I will watch it in a second. Did you watch it?
Chantele, I'll chair watch with you, and then you can just translate for me.
I could, or maybe we can find links, but I don't translate the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I would watch any
Love Island iteration.
Yeah, it's just I didn't continue with Love Island UK because the number of episodes was so daunting, and at that point in my life, I didn't have time for it. But
you need to do some homework, girl. You only have like 250 episodes you need to watch.
That's a lot of episodes.
Oh yeah, so M. Jordan, if you can find me a link or where you found that, I mean, I'll do a look for it as well. But if you could help me out, that would be awesome. Chelsea says, no problem, Divine. That's me. Amon! Yes, casting for Love Island as well. Amon! Are you here? Do you want to come and talk for the last 5 minutes with us? Oh my God, I'm so excited that you're here. Is he Pardon me? He's from the podcast. Yes. Okay, you just commented. Do you want to chat with us for the last little bit, Amon? M. Jordan says, I don't care about the link. I don't know about the links. Okay. Okay, we got to the episode before the 3-hour mark. Amon, what are you saying? Do you want to chat or what?
Or what?
But so we'll just do the last minute, maybe a little chit chat. So yes, we're all team J-Lub. We want J-Lub to win. We're hoping that America comes through in this 2020 time period and allowing us to have the winner that we want and need and that is most deserving. I think
final prediction of ordering is mine is going to be J-Lub number 1, Johnny Sally number 2, Moivin. I'm just going with it. Moivin is 3, and then 4th, Carrington and Laurel. And I am staying with that.
Oh, I can't because I'm not home, but definitely in the future. Yeah, I'm on we lately have been talking for a really long time. Usually it only gets up to 2 hours. But if you want to come chat with us anytime, obvsies, please do, because I haven't met you yet specifically on our Rob as a podcast, and like obviously you're my favorite. And yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on Love Island moving forward. Maybe if you want to come chat with us after the finale, or if you hear any gossip or whatnot, we're totally into it. But I would love to have you. You are the bomb. That'd be so awesome.
Bomb.com.
I think that the order is going to, I agree with your order. I think it's going to go J-Lub, then Johnny and Selly, Moira and Calvin, Carrington and Laurel, I think will be the order.
You heard it here first, folks.
That is what I think that's the order that I want, that's the order that I think is most deserving. Mm-hmm. That is the order that I'm hoping will be agreed upon within the rest of America, personally.
You need to be worried about me if J-Lub's not number one.
I mean, I'm worried about a lot of people. Like, I don't think that people can like.
No, Chantele, I'm not kidding, because I'm not gonna be able to watch it like East Coast time because I'm clearly not home. But you need to tell me.
I know. I'm not gonna tell you anything. I'm gonna keep my lips sealed.
No. If they don't win, just tell me don't watch the episode because I'm not gonna watch it.
I don't think I'm going to do that, but
fine. I'll Google it. Fine.
Okay, that's like you need to watch it still.
No, you did that to me with What did you do that to me with? You were like, just watch, and oh my god, and I got so pissed off because I thought you meant like you wanted me to have that same reaction, and I was like expecting to have this good reaction, but no, you just wanted me to get mad. Oh, was it Big Brother? Yeah. No, you also were pissed off when you watched it, and I was like, just tell me. You're like, no, I need you to have the same. I need you to have your own reaction. But what was it?
I don't remember now.
Probably it's probably Big Brother, but
yeah, it was Big Brother.
No, don't do that to me again.
Okay, so
just tell me.
I probably won't. Team J-Lub, we know I figured, and I seen your tweets, Amon. Team J-Lub, it is 100%. So, I mean, we've already talked for forever, but if anybody has any other last questions or any other comments now or forever,
I'm almost done. I'm leaving right now.
Tomorrow, we will definitely be talking about the outcome and all the results. Mary, what's Mary have to say? Mary says, me too.
Okay. I can't do this.
Which is weird because it's just a show. I mean, guys, like, it's just a show. You can handle it. Gloria says, probably I want Jelly and Laurington to fight for the last spot.
I'm going to have to sign off. I'm sorry. This is not going well.
Okay. Yeah, I figured what you meant was Jelly. And then Anna says, this will be your first and last season of Love Island US. Oh my God, LOL. Remember that what I was saying is that we still want to give, all ethnicities and backgrounds an opportunity to be on these shows. And so signourchange.org and see if we can maybe shift the narrative with like what the producers want to show on their show and to still give other opportunities for other Black couples to show and showcase their love on a network television show. So I don't want everybody to stop watching it if that's not the outcome, but I think that they should be signing petitions and really making their voice be heard without like taking away the opportunity for potential other Black contestants moving forward. In my opinion, Brazil, I'll let you know, insert crying emoji. Don't let her feel it on her own. Jeez Louise, guys. Anyways, it was I'm so glad I get to hang out with you guys. You guys are the best fans and chat people that I've ever met. You guys are so fun. I love hanging out with you guys every day. Obviously, you can find me on Instagram at ChanFranFran or at Reality Realnesss with 3 S's. There's a change.org in the comments if you want to find that to sign about representation at CBS. Also, I've mentioned that I'm going to be talking with Liana Boris, Lita Brillman, and Mari Forth next on Saturday, October 3rd, about basically encouraging women to vote. So we're doing a discussion, a little panel about women in reality television, and then after we're going to be doing a text banking session encouraging women to vote. And so if you want to participate in that, please go to @supermajority and you'll find the way to kind of set up your phone number to be involved in that discussion. Then you'll get the link to be able to listen to our roundtable/panel. And then lastly, I probably had one other thing. Please subscribe right down below, or probably like right over here. So you can help us on our journey to 1,000 subscribers. Try to get there by October 18th. And we have a new friend here. It says Elbay. Hi, Elbay. Nice to meet you. We are signing off, but yes, your team J-Love, baby. I think we all are in this chat room. We're pretty much all, except for Jake Wan, is team J-Love. So I hope we have really great news to celebrate tomorrow. You guys are the best chat room people ever. I can't wait to talk to you guys tomorrow. If you have any other questions or anything, please message me. You can find all my handles everywhere. You can find me. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Good luck. I hope that it goes the way we want it to, because people gonna be mad. Yikes.